Hello, everybody. Welcome back to that young Ace Combat. Last time we just gotten out of the prison. We're out of the prison arc, boys. We're out of there. Which means now we're on the very, very fun arc, also known as being just a generally cool dude. So let's get in there. Hold on, something.
Trigger, Count. We've received official confirmation about what we're supposed to do.
Oh, there we go. Now she wasn't working for us.
The company commander has made it clear he'd like you both to officially join our squadron. This is an unprecedented move. Seems like you've got some people looking out for you. Still, I think it's because of how you've conducted yourselves. I believe you'll be an asset.
That is weird.
Okay, it's time for your briefing. For a long time, our counteroffensive has been overpowered.
Oh, whatever it says, it's going fine.
Auto-intercept system. If a craft enters their airspace and doesn't respond to their IFF, drones automatically
Sorry, Twitch on our side was being really weird. Sorry about that.
And move to intercept their target.
What are we doing?
However, we've discovered that the intercept system has a blind spot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This
Acquire
is a boat
this
mission.
valuable information by sending our other squadrons on dangerous missions to scout the whole area
Sweet.
and initiate combat. Of all the pilots assigned to us, only 2 managed to survive the mission.
Well,
If we don't act now, before the enemy can fill in,
That's
those
for
pilots will
literally
sacrifice
everything.
themselves for nothing. So, we've been ordered to carry out a long-range strategic strike.
alright, I saw
Operating
strategic
separately from the
strike
main
and
forces,
legit
this
thought he said,
long-range
we're going to
strategic
strategically nuke them.
We've been developing a strategy in secret.
What? Oh, that's
The Strider Squadron will sortie deep into the Erusian
an
territory.
overkill.
We'll be
That
carrying out specialized long-range attack strategies. You will carve your way through the
when
territory from the north
PlayStation
to the
5 made
capital
where you
of
couldn't
Cortana,
record
attacking
during
important
certain
targets
moments, even if
gameplay.
you had a recorder, and then people just bypassed
First
it anyway.
operation will
It
involve
kind of made
striking
everyone
the
wonder
enemy's
why they
main
did that
naval
anyway.
force, the Njord fleet, which is gathered in northern Eugene.
It's like, oh, so people can't
We've
spoil
known
certain
for
parts of
some
the game.
time
It's like,
there's a large
they'll just
supply
find a way to
base
look it up
utilized by
anyway.
the enemy fleet in the waters around Snyder's Top. At present, the enemy fleet is concentrated there.
That was a weird
Naturally,
time.
they intend to attack eastern Eugene, where the Ostian forces are stationed. If we can surprise the enemy with a long-range attack, we could potentially do devastating
I still
damage.
remember, like, in one of the rage quits for Rooster Teeth, like, for
Still, it's highly likely that their advanced fleet are prepared
kills
and
them
started to move,
Shadowfall.
so combat with the enemy fleet is probably unavoidable. We've verified the existence of a large supply base in the sea, as well as a medium-sized one in a valley by an estuary. It's a wide operation area. There are a number of places you can expect large-scale combat, so we've set up a return line for replenishing supplies. Use it proactively. Anytime you feel the need to stock up on ammo or make repairs to your craft, it's there. While aircraft and ammo can be replaced, the lives of our pilots cannot. We don't want any casualties out there. Remember that. The counterattack has begun. Brace yourselves.
Roger that, let's go. Evo. Let's go. Alright, so we're here. We're gonna blow that up first. Then every fleet down there dies. And then, we'll clean that up. Alright. Bringing in the baby.
Strider Squadron, aircraft prep complete. Sortie ASAP.
Alright, we just remembered we have the weird control scheme, and this one was always one where we were doing some very tight maneuvers. Like, cause you gotta get, like, at very weird angles to take out some of the boats, cause they're, like, in a repair dock. So you can't hit them from the side, you gotta get them straight, you gotta get your missile straight on, so this is... At least the first zone's gonna be a little bit of a dicey operation. After that, though, we should be good to go.
Your first mission is to refuel midair. I'll provide you with instructions, so follow my lead. Too fast. Lower airspeed. 1,500 meters to tanker. Bank left. Altitude is too high. Descend.
Why don't we just fly up to the guy real quick?
You have permission to access the refueling tanker. Make right.
Come on, we got it.
Maintain your current approach.
Got it. Good. Good.
100.
Trigger's having a bit of a hard time with this one, lads. Come on. Come on, baby.
50 meters.
Look, we got it all right. We're working. We're trying our damn best here. Come on, plane. Come on. Well, just a tad. Just a tad.
Trigger, maintain your current approach.
The fact this giant fuel jet is keeping up is impressive.
Meters. Work on your mid-air refueling.
Ah! As if there was any doubt, you know, as if.
Refueling initiated. Maintain your current
I feel
position.
like how there's all like these, you know, normal looking jets around, and then there's just this psychotic, just abomination onto the Lord. It's good, feels good.
Trigger, your call sign is Strider 1. You will be leading Strider Squadron. Count. You'll be Cyclops 2. You'll be under Cyclops 1.
Strider 1, baby. Yeah, that's a fleet right there. You can tell who the commander is right away.
How can you talk about food? Trigger, how come you're number 1 and I'm stuck as number 2? Oh well, I guess I can let it slide for now. And we're just supposed to follow you? I heard you're spectacular, Captain. At least with your last squadron. I don't want you slowing us down out there.
It's like
Strider
Strider
1, head back
We
to
need
the
to
return
find
line
this
if you
one
need
sometime.
repairs
We
or
need to
fuel.
hunt this one down.
Aircrafts need E2 in order to be effective.
Alright.
Half of us are resupplying. We need time.
We're near the valley platform.
Damn it! They caught us getting ready to deploy. Hurry it up! Strider 3, engaging. Cyclops 3, engaging.
Alright, yeah, as you can see, this mission's a little hard just trying to get into these ones.
We're supposed to smash
Even
up
a
that
little
whole thing.
off.
Enemy in tall
It's not
order.
gonna count.
Just destroy the boats,
Think we got it.
aircraft,
Think
and
we got it.
weaponry.
No, let's do what the chick said.
Missile.
Oh, Roger.
Alright.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Frigates easier, because that's just boom. Destroyers are 4 hits, frigates are 2. And then you have super monsters with stealth
Target
weapons,
has been destroyed.
and they take about 500.
Impressive.
Mass Dapper destroyed. Seal it off. I'll look for the structural reinforcements. They're small, but not impossible to hit.
I've sent the data. Make like Wiseman and serve up a sandwich.
Righto. Copy. Roger. Loss of the platform was not anticipated. Without this base, we'll have to rethink our whole strategy.
There we go.
Missile.
Nice try. Genuine attempt to give you that. Huh.
Target is eliminated.
That felt good. Alright, let's see what we got here. Got some tankers. I don't need to blow that one up. We got a plan for that one.
Enemy is
didn't we?
locked on.
Missile.
Missile inbound. Evade.
Missile.
Boom!
Emergency launch. Tugboat
Boom!
speed ahead.
You didn't need that frigate, did you? Alright, now it's about this port, right?
Missile.
Yeah, there. It's just- Kaboom!
You just put the meat in between those
mind serving the sandwich?
I'm happy to eat both.
Whatever you say, man.
And since it collapsed, it took out the other thing.
Looks like we caught him by surprise.
Locked on.
Caution. Pull up.
Strider 1, locked on target.
Missile.
Hey, how's it going?
Shove off. Hurry! We can't afford to be targeted right
No
now.
other way to bring the platform down.
Anti-air is tight.
It's a little too late for
Get
that.
in.
So we got a little bit of a run. Oh, he ain't gonna get far. Don't worry about that. Yo, I actually thinking about it.
Missile.
Cruiser sunk. Strider 1, missile launched.
We gotta take out these cruisers before they decide that running is a general option they can have.
Watch that bandit. They have a lock on me.
And
Platform's under attack. Launch the helicopters and the ships at once.
Strider 1,
Stop. Any more damage to the base? Overwhelm them with our superior numbers.
Caution. Pull up.
yeah, screw numbers. How's that working out against like 6 points?
Break. We're sitting ducks and we're together like this.
You actually think you can hit me?
You gotta get like such a weird angle into these corners.
Caution.
Missile! I have to evade! Okay, we need a pinpoint hit on the
Oh, this
platform
one.
support section. Aim true. I'm the chef this time. That's a lot.
platform approach confirmed.
Boom! There it goes.
Platform. Get your act together. Can't afford to take any more damage. Keep the defenses busy. Use this chance to knock out the platform.
Ooh! Ooh! Bicycle fly. Don't know why everyone's freaking out.
All aircraft moving force is disappointing. The attack will fail.
Come over from the other angle. You know, we had an idea here. Just UAV those.
The enemy's got a lock.
Why don't we just, UAV them? Yeah, see, that worked.
Cyclops.
Yeah, see, that
Stop
did
floating
it.
around. Stay glued to my ass. Stop treating me like a newborn chick. I've shot down my fair share of enemies. Shut, little chick. Just stick with your mother.
There's yeah, some of those things have like AS systems on them,
Already
so they
taken
can
out
shoot
half
down
the
missiles.
platform. Heavy fire. Heading to invade.
Let's set her up. This we gotta worry.
Stay cool. Pilot on the heat.
Now we gotta weed this out and we gotta come down.
They're after me. I need cover. They must be up to something. Why would they attack
Alright,
this
those
base
guys can
with
take
nuclear
that out.
Firepower.
Jump the destroyer. Or not, or it'll just be okay. How?
Missile launched.
Boom, there we go.
Is destroyed.
Caution.
Just keep hitting on, so
ew.
there'll be less anti-aircraft fire to worry about.
Stall warning.
Strider 1, UAV deployed.
There we go.
Caution.
Enemy has a lock on me.
We can take it. We gotta come out from this side though. 8 minutes. We are not doing good for time. Or are we? Help, 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 help.
Caution.
Allied down.
Okay, that was a hit.
Lock on me.
Enemy has a radar lock on me.
Missile. Missile.
Locked on.
Come on,
Missile
baby.
launched.
Yeah, couldn't stop both of them, could you?
Target obliterated.
Missile.
Bandit is firing.
At this point, most of this is just crap.
Locked on bandit.
This whole base is starting to look more just like high level floating. Boom! And another base.
Missile fire. They have a lock on me. They took a bite out of me. Breaking.
Fox 2, Fox 2.
It's a hell of a spot for this place. Again, what else do you expect?
Why not just bomb the damn valley from high altitude? That's what I would do.
I'm on my target's tail.
Target in gun range.
Oh, you see, bombs from high orbit, you wouldn't get that. Where's the sportsmanship in?
Strider 1, missile launched.
Boom!
Nice shot. Joint section destroyed.
The platform has lost most of its anti-air.
Where's he going, huh?
Time to stick a fork in you.
All right.
We got heavy damage.
Missile.
Where you going, huh?
Call for help ASAP.
Missile.
Missile inbound. Missile inbound.
Oh no, that was a bit of a threat needle.
Missile. Caution. Pull up.
Missile inbound. Evade. Fox 2. Fox 2.
Whoop.
Missile. Missile.
Shoot them down when they climb. Got it?
Missile. Missile.
Hostile behind me.
We got like 5 minutes?
Get you out.
Missile.
Alright, we're done here.
Been destroyed. Didn't think it would go this well. Nice work, team.
Go easy on the praise. The helmets are tight enough already. Man, how long have you been under this guy? Must be a pain. Cal, this mother hand plans to keep you alive for a long time, so get used to it.
Missile.
Well, off to the fleet then.
What a pain in the ass.
Missile.
5 minutes remaining.
Missile.
No use. You lost all
Off to the fun targets.
Trigger, what are the marks on your plane? 3 lines. Scratches? I don't like them. They're like sin lines.
Caution.
Those.
Nothing.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Caution. Pull up.
And
Target acquired.
boom! Get on my drones! Kill!
Locked on.
Well, drones are real busted, huh?
Enemy vessel destroyed.
Alright, where's the cluster of ships? Ah! Damn it. Thought you could get away, huh? Nah. Be too easy then. Come here. Probably won't get to fight the big boys. That's actually better for us, because usually when we go to fight that thing, that's when we end up dying.
Confirmation of the enemy's
It's probably better if we just don't.
engage.
We'll go. Let's go.
Enemy Aegis vessel intercepting incoming missiles with their sea whiz. Counteract shields with a low approach or use missiles outside intercept range.
All ships, prepare for anti-air combat. Put PD combat. Flies there on fleet.
They're already firing. You think they can hit us? Make a low approach or dive to avoid their fire when you move in.
Boom! And you know what?
Keep your eyes peeled.
Just in case.
You never know when that
Take
experimental
it.
slider might show up.
Boom!
Jaeger, he knows that better than anyone. He's one of the few with the skills to face Mr. X and live to tell. That ain't funny.
Enemy aircraft is launched. Engage it.
Missile.
3 minutes remaining.
Missile.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Missile.
Strider 1.
Oh, they're in trouble now.
Some of us are struggling to keep up.
Got the old drone
Think that'd miss.
Fjord has heavy damage. Catapults are no longer working. We'll go down. We have to retreat.
Missile.
Nice job out there. I guess the rumors we heard about you are true.
The enemy has lost 30% of their fleet. If you don't stay sharp, you'll be meeting Davy Jones. They're giving us all they've got. Sit through that fire. Keep hitting and running.
Got it.
That don't work, man. Enemy never stood a chance.
They're fighting
If we do somehow end up dying, we now know it's just syndrome because we have boats. There's no point lining up the shot.
Cyclops 2, stay sharp. Half of the enemies are still around. Work by the numbers, Cal.
No enemy bases are close enough to strike our supply lines. They've been too far away, like a flock of snowbirds. We've lost 80% of our fleet. We can't do any more.
Then we just plink everything.
We should have had the strategic advantage. Just who are these guys?
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Yep. We got time. Let's go fight
One
the
and
big
dead in their
guys.
naval
See if
power.
we can get over there.
Results are better than expected.
We still have more time. Don't let up. Knock them down for good.
Come on, that's enough, right? Let's get out of here.
One more, we'll wipe them all out.
Give me a break.
And
One of the new recruits talks a lot, swears a lot.
it's like just because you're not just
Swears more than me.
It's not just the swearing either. She's got quick fists, too.
I thought you'd say
Hey, we
that.
got a minute. Let's see what kind of damage we can do to that thing.
Enemy fleet has been neutralized.
First though.
That's just down some serious firepower.
Goodbye, fuel.
It was a piece of cake.
It's nice to have some fresh talent we can count on. We're approaching the marine platform.
All right, scramble.
Enemy fighters have just taken off from the platform. Eliminate those fighters with extreme prejudice before they can threaten the mission.
We'll go. We'll swat those flies down into the drink.
Hostile has a lock.
Fighters down by 3%.
The enemy's arrogance will be there. It's time we take the fight to them.
Oh man, I was kind of hoping the planes taking off would just crash. That'd been funny.
Our damage is minimal, and 70% of our fleet is still operational. We're not done yet.
Ammunition
Strider 1, UAV
Yeah,
away. Strider 1, locked on target.
This.
Attention all aircraft. Operation complete. The enemy won't recover from this one.
Uh-oh!
Strider 1 is down.
So anyway.
Sorry, but I'm gonna eat while I work. My judgment goes fuzzy when I'm too hungry.
Don't know why
How
we
can you talk
tried
about
that.
food? Trigger, how come you're number 1 and I'm stuck as number 2? Oh well, I guess I can let it slide for now.
Yeah, just
They were just supposed to follow you. I heard you're spectacular, Captain. At least with your last squadron. I don't want you slowing us down out there.
Half of us are resupplying. We need
We're near the valley platform.
Damn it! They caught us getting ready to deploy. Hurry it up!
Strider 3, engaging. Cyclops 3, engaging.
Cyclops 4 engaging.
Strider 1, missile.
That's fun.
We're supposed to smash up that whole thing?
That'd be a tall order. Just destroy the boats, aircraft, and AA weaponry.
No, let's do what the chick said.
And
Roger.
and goodbye. Now we're gonna be making some good time. Now we have the combo down. No, we'll come back to that. They haven't told us about the core thing. You have to wait till the core comes up, then it's like, alright, now you can start going.
Fox 2. Bullseye.
Kaboom!
The target has been destroyed.
Impressive.
Mass damper destroyed.
I'll look for the structural reinforcements. They're small, but not impossible to hit.
Catch you, pal.
I've sent the data.
Let's come back at it from
Make
another
like
angle.
Wiseman and serve up a sandwich.
Righto. Copy. Roger. Loss of the platform was not anticipated. Without this base,
Boom! That's
strategy.
Strider 1, locked on target.
You drones have fun with that.
In gun range.
Ah!
Tugboat separated. Speed
That
ahead.
we are.
Strike 5, locked on bandit.
confirmed. You just put the meat in between those buns and that burger is well done.
My serving sandwich.
I'm happy to eat both.
Whatever you say, man.
And
Ship's trying to escape from the facility.
Looks like we caught him by surprise.
Joints. There's no way to leave the platform now.
The air is tight. It's hard to get in.
Fox 2.
Shove off. Hurry! We can't afford to be targeted right now.
Shaking off enemy lock.
you say that, but ye can't escape, Mr. Bond.
Rider 3, Fox 2.
Stop. Any more damage to the base? We'll overwhelm them with our superior numbers.
Platform approach confirmed.
Yeah, superior numbers aren't going to help. Ah man, seeing like platforms like that really want to make us play MGS 5.
Dodge that missile.
Sucks that servers are going off because one of the most fun things about that is when you're getting charged to invade your base. And you're just like, what's happening? Ah, time to go break that poor man's legs.
A third of the air defenses have been eliminated. Stay cool.
Look at that, we're making
Pilot on the heat.
Cyclops 2, stop fluttering about. Stay close to my ass.
Stop treating me like a newborn chick. I've shot down my fair share of enemies.
Sharp, big chick.
Go
Stick
blue!
with your mother head. You'll get back
Oh
on
man, we get so hyped blowing stuff up. Even though we usually lose this mission a lot, it's like Doom 2016. You can't be mad just because you're having such a great time. You are having such a great time, just absolutely blowing things to smithereens.
Target locked.
Yeah, that was a bad angle.
Platform is under
You
attack.
can try from
Launch
this.
the helicopters and the ships at once.
We have to protect the airspace above this valley.
Target destroyed.
We've lost 60% of our air defense weaponry. We can't hold out much longer. Call for help ASAP.
I've been spiked.
That was a platform next to us. We almost slammed clean into it because we just didn't know it was there.
Watch your altitude. Going too high will blind you so far. Fox 2, Fox 2.
Strider 1. Missile launched. Nice shot.
Oh.
Joint section destroyed.
The platform has lost most of its anti-air capabilities. Time to stick up.
All right.
This is Rank 5, behind target.
In gun range.
We're taking on water. We need to evacuate.
You're gonna have to come from over here.
Surrender. There are 9 combatants aboard this ship.
Strider 1.
bad,
Headed
huh?
on your tail.
We got heavy damage. Clear out all non-military personnel.
Bit of a shame, isn't it?
Target acquired.
Locked on. Go down.
Boy.
Across the entire fleet. I'll need to inform headquarters to watch out for planes bearing that emblem.
Strider 1. Head back to the return line if you need repairs or fuel. Aircraft KV-2 and
Oh, we're
RP is
fine.
active.
The enemy will hesitate to fire if you keep one of them close.
Platform's been destroyed. Didn't think it would go this well. Nice work, team.
Go easy on the praise. The helmets are tight enough already.
Man, how long have you been under this guy? Must be a pain.
Cal, this mother hand plans to keep you alive for a long time, so get used to it.
The entire fleet's dead now. They're all dead.
It's no use. We've lost
Alright,
all our air
everybody,
defenses.
follow trigger.
Trigger, what are the marks
Follow
on
the
your plane?
young Triggermeister.
Three lines. Scratches.
I don't like them. They're like sin lines.
What are those?
Nothing.
Fox 2. Target hit.
And that's another one. Man, you know what's terrifying when you just heard about this guy, this one plane that just wiped out an entire base and everyone in it, and then all of a sudden you just see a plane come over with
Aegis
drones.
vessel intercepting incoming missiles with their Sea Whiz. Counteract Sea Whiz with a low approach or use missiles outside intercept range.
If you die, it's all over. Move and stay alive.
All ships,
Pushing for
prepare for
shooters, if you get like
anti-air
right on top of them, they can't. It's
combat.
gonna be a lot harder for
Squad
them to
80
shoot.
flies near our fleet.
They're already firing. They think they can hit us. Make a low approach or dive to avoid their fire when you move in. CIWS.
Fire too early or too late, they'll miss. They've got 10 seconds intercept time.
David has a lock
The enemy has lost 30% of their fleet. If you don't stay sharp, you'll be meeting Davy Jones. They're giving us all they've got. So do that fire. Keep hitting and running.
Got it.
Enemy aircraft is launched. Engage it.
I think they took out the drones. Some little buggers.
Keep your eyes peeled. You never know when that experimental squadron might show up.
Jaeger, he knows that
And
better
there
than
goes
anyone.
that one.
He's one of the few with the skills to face Mr. Rex and live to tell.
Hey, buddy.
I can leave some close in time, but I can't tell because of all the smoke. Cyclops 2, stay sharp. Half the enemies are still around. By the numbers count. Rider 1 was shot down.
That's the one biggest problem with the aircraft carrier is it takes about, it's so hard to just get to lock onto the ship. It wants to lock onto every weapon on there. It's like, game, most of the weapons can't do anything.
Sorry,
We
but
don't
I'm
want to
gonna eat
fight
my
them. We
work.
want to fight
My judgment goes fuzzy when I'm too hungry.
How can
so,
you talk about food? Trigger, how come you're number 1 and I'm stuck as number 2? Oh well, I guess I can let it slide for now.
And we're just supposed to
It's
follow
fine. You get faster every time. Like, it's not that
Captain.
we have to go fast because of like points. Once you take out this base, you've pretty much gotten all the points. The fleet finishes it off, and the big thing is just how much more destruction can you physically cause.
Hurry it up!
Enemy has a lock on you.
Strider 3, engaging. Cyclops 3, engaging.
Cyclops 4 engaging.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Strider 1, locked on target.
We're supposed to smash up that whole thing?
That'd be a tall order. Just destroy the boats,
Uh.
aircraft, and AA weaponry.
Nah, let's do what the chick said. Roger.
Oh. They're talking about all this. Meanwhile, just in the background, just misses everywhere. It's one of those games where it's like, man, let's go. Awesome. You get such a feeling of being a
Fox
badass.
2.
Caution.
Bullseye. Target has been destroyed.
Impressive.
Man, that's another one.
Fast Dapper destroyed.
I went for the structural reinforcements. They're small, but not impossible to hit.
I've sent the data. Make like wise men, serve up a sandwich.
Boom! And there goes one platform already.
Superior fire. Loss of the platform was not anticipated. Without this base, we'll have to rethink our whole strategy.
Platform purge confirmed. You just put the meat in between those bugs and that burger
And
is
that'll
well
take
done.
out that boat down there.
Serving a sandwich.
I'm happy to eat both.
Whatever you say, man.
Platform purge confirmed.
And there goes another one.
A third of the air defenses have been eliminated. Stay cool. Keep piling on the heat.
Clear for emergency launch. Tugboat separated. Speed ahead.
Okay.
Stop. Any more damage to the
Okay.
base?
Alright.
Done with our superior
Okay, now
numbers.
you're talking.
Enemy has
That could be
reloaded about half of the platform.
Cyclops 2. Stop fluttering about. Stay glued to my ass.
Stop treating me like a poor chick. I've shot down my fair share of enemies.
Sure.
And get him.
Just stick with your mother hand. Get back up.
Bang.
But half the
We need to
enemy's
get again.
fleet
We need to
is
get
destroyed.
trust.
Just keep hitting them, so there'll
Hang
be
on.
less anti-aircraft
Hang
fire
on.
to worry about.
That was fun and like super replayable. Just to try and unlock new costumes and stuff. I
Gotcha,
get it.
pal.
That was good.
Missile inbound. Evade.
It really wasn't like story.
Dodged it.
Hey, there.
They picked a hell of a spot to build the place.
The enemy's got
Again, what else do you expect?
Why not just bomb the
I was
whole
playing
damn
one
valley
was
from high
awesome.
altitude?
I think it was awesome, but like the last
Nice
couple of
shot.
guys were
Joint
just
section
ridiculously
destroyed.
hard.
The platform has lost most of its anti-air capabilities. Time to stick a fork in it.
All right.
You got the core.
We can't hold out much longer. Call for help
You got with it. Ooh, that crane was coming down. It wanted us.
Enemy's got a lock. I'm taking damage, but I'm good to go. Strider 1, watch that enemy on your tail. Watch your altitude. Going too high will find us.
The platform has been destroyed. Didn't think it would go this well. Nice work, team.
Strider 1, go easy on the praise. The helmets are tightened up already.
Man, how long have you been under this guy? Must be a pain.
Count, this mother hand plans to keep you alive for a long time, so get used to it.
Any boats? It's kind of shit.
What a pain in the ass.
It's no use.
Get him on.
We've lost all our air defenses. Trigger, what are the marks on your plane? 3 lines. Scratches?
Well, 10 minutes to go. To now go
I don't
full
like 'em.
crazy.
They're like sin lines.
See, look, after you do that base, we have
Nothing.
10,000. We have 15,000 points out of the 28,000 needed. You're basically dead.
I'll need to inform headquarters.
You have 10
watch out for
minutes?
planes bearing
Yeah.
that emblem.
That's already pushed. They're making a Knights of the Republic remake. We'll do 2. 1 was great, but hopefully it's not just like, even if it is just updated graphics and like maybe a little bit better gameplay, we wonder if they'll add new content. That'd be really good. That'd be cool. Don't change too much because the original like storyline is fucking phenomenal. But like, you know, just a couple like new planets or something like going around. Maybe not new planets, but like just more areas in the old planets.
Enemy Aegis vessel intercepting incoming missiles with their Sea Whiz. Counteract Sea Whiz below approach or use missiles outside
I kind of wonder how they.
All ships, prepare for anti-air combat. Swat any dumbass that flies near our fleet. They're already firing. They think they can hit us.
Make a low approach or dive to avoid their fire when you move in. CIWS. Stay calm and take them down.
Just throw as many missiles at them. Some are bound to get through.
Enemy's got a lock.
Destroyer sunk. Clear the rest.
Got a point.
Fox 2.
If we just keep shooting missiles,
We can't keep
eventually they'll die.
Enemy aircraft is
It's a
launched.
pretty great strategy when you get down to it.
Look at him go.
What
Destroyer
happened with that missile, but alright. Not sure who fired that one, but okay.
I think we've sunk most of the enemy fleet, but I can't tell because of all the smoke.
Cyclops 2, stay sharp. Half of the enemies are still around. By the numbers count.
No enemy bases are close enough to strike our supply line. They fall too far away, like a flock of snowbirds.
Target down and out. Fjord has heavy damage. Catapults are no longer working. We'll come down here. Attack half retreat. Nice job out there. I guess the rumors we heard about you were true.
Keep your eyes peeled, Drake.
Those are
You
alive.
never know when that experimental
Hey, what
squad
boats
might
are even
show up.
alive in this?
Jaeger, he knows that better than anyone. He's one of the few with the skills to face Mr. X and live to tell.
That ain't funny.
No rounds ready to fire. Hurry up and reload. They're coming. Breaking out of luck.
Aegis vessel Honier is sunk.
We've lost 80% of our fleet. We can't do any more. Prepare the lifeboats. We should have had the strategic advantage. Just who are these guys?
The best in the biz.
One of the new
Specifically
recruits
just
talks a lot. Swears a lot, too. That girl swears more than me.
It's not just the swearing either. She's got quick fists, too.
I thought you'd say that.
Damn. Why can't that experimental squadron show up here? You might as well be praying to the heavens. Now get out there and shoot it down yourself.
Strider
This is
1,
just
target
bullying.
destroyed.
Let's be honest, this is bullying.
Strider 1, target acquired.
And goodbye.
Strider 1, frigate destroyed.
This This isn't fair. Let's not pretend this is okay.
Attack.
Missile.
Enemy dodged. Continuing attack.
Nice job.
We're approaching the marine platform.
Get those planes off the runway! We have this middle fighters now!
And that's gone.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
You know what? So is
We put quite a dent in their naval power. The results are better than expected.
We still have more time. Don't let up. Knock them down for good.
Come on, that's enough, right? Let's get out of here.
One more, we'll wipe them all out.
Give me a break. All right, scramble.
Enemy fighters have just taken off from the platform. Eliminate these fighters with extreme prejudice before they can threaten the mission.
Kaboom!
We'll swat those flies down into the drink. Breaking off. Enemy's got a lock.
Don't.
Locked on.
No special weaponry remaining.
They decided.
Hit him with the drone slam! And there goes whatever plane was on that. I'm not entirely sure which one it was, but it's dead.
Box 2. Box 2. Missile inbound. Evade. Strike 2. Enemy locked on. Missile. Evade.
Boom!
Our anti-aircraft weapons are taking heavy damage. Bring down those fighters.
You've taken care of
Well,
about a third of the
don't like
platform.
that.
The other side is still buzzing, so keep an eye out.
They're aiming for the platform.
Oh, we're out of.
The upper section of the platform has been destroyed. Watch out for falling debris.
5 minutes remaining.
Thought about it for a second. Like, wait a minute.
Grenade is still operational. We're not done yet. Cyclones 4, launch that attack.
Just try it. Just
Lock on you, Strider 1. Lock that bandit. Attacking.
don't need to waste any more.
Target acquired.
Ready with the launch preparation. Must beat the
Where
enemy.
else can we hit this? Really? Right there.
Target is hit.
Boom! 4 minutes and mostly everything is just.
And it's mostly thanks to Strider 1.
That seems fair.
Unexpected an attack in such small numbers. They're insane.
Missile.
Scramble the auxiliary fighter.
Missile.
Box 2.
Missile.
Target acquired.
These fire missiles truly thinks they are the best.
Give them our anti-aircraft batteries. Damn.
Special delivery. Enemy's got a lock.
When do you see where it's reloaded? I think you've kind of.
Can I make it?
Where's the reload?
Do what you can to draw them away from the platform. They decided. Strider 1, warning, missile. Aim for the joint section.
There it is.
Shot. Not impossible.
There's no way this crap can do that. Their orders is insane.
The enemy work today. We'll see where they're on their way to.
Never know until you're up in the air, do you?
We can look into who did work for later. Right now, we need to mop up the rest. Half the AA guns and SAM sites are still alive and kicking. Not good.
Not good. Nah. The fact that half of them
Nice
are
shot.
dead is
Joint
pretty
section
good.
destroyed.
Missile. Missile.
We've lost half the platform. Prepare the anti-aircraft batteries.
3 minutes remaining.
They must have really drawn the
He's
shooting.
like, man, we already have the entire battle.
Launched.
Concentrate your fire on those two fighters. They're the best. Concentrate on that fighter.
Missile.
Platform has been destroyed. Be careful not to get caught up in the collapse.
I've done this mission.
Not for real?
Just keep letting them fly. You're bound to hit something. Strider 3, Fox 2.
And that's a frigate.
That's half of their operational ships. Keep that
You know, if there's any time after this platform's dead, those planes up there are gonna have a bad time.
Strider 1, head back to the return line if you need repairs or fuel. Aircrafts need D2 in order to be effective.
Missile.
2 minutes remaining. Target acquired. Target in gun range.
Enemy shows no signs of letting up. I think I've had just about enough of this courtship. Enemy has a lock.
Missile.
platform successfully purged.
Cyclops 1, enemy on your tail. Just a bit
You
more.
have a
That
minute.
platform is
Can we
going
do,
down.
for the
I call
first time
dibs on the
ever
final
in this
shot.
game, take out every single core?
Going much easier than I expected.
For us.
Let's have some fun.
Definitely. We've never done it before. We're actually hearing new
Strider
lines.
1, watch your tail.
Nickel. Nickel. Pull up. Nickel.
Enemy attacks are slowing down. Time for one last push to the finish.
Enemy has a radar lock on me.
Nickel.
Weisman, missile closing.
Bandit acquired. Firing.
Nickel. Nickel.
Construction of marine platform confirmed. Good job.
Yes, it's confirmed that it's been destroyed. Take the same target to support section.
Well done. That takes care of both of the platforms. Best of all, we've taken 0 losses. Stay alive, people. This is why I've taken the liberty of ordering dinner for you guys from a nice Italian bistro near the base.
Trigger's one of the pilots who's been up against the demon in that experimental squadron. Chased him off solo, too, since support ran off.
Nickel.
I was there myself. Wouldn't be here if it weren't for Trigger. See what I'm getting at?
Yeah, well, I wish I'd been there too.
Nickel.
If you were one of those escorts that flew off, you should watch it back.
Nickel. 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 Enemy zero.
Attention all aircraft. Operation complete. The enemy won't recover from this one. You did great out there. I think tonight's the night we finally open that bottle.
I
Hey!
understand the new boss's style.
Our other newcomer is a unique character. The old squad was bad, and I guess it's no different here. I could really perform, if only I had some partners I could trust.
No need to worry. I got your back. Relax and do your thing.
Give me a break.
That's a beautiful sight. No targets there's just a bunch of jets that were about to
Sorry,
go
but I'm gonna eat
that
all that work.
realized as the last platform fell. Wait, there's no more things for him to blow up. They should be scared, very scared. Please tell us our mic has been on this whole time. We beg you, thank you.
The mission was a success. You did more to hobble the enemy's sea power than we first expected. Outstanding work. This should free up our allies who have been bogged down on the East Coast. In addition, this success allows us to finally move on and initiate the operation to shoot down the Arsenal bird. We have a long road ahead of us. Get some rest while you can.
Hey, roger that, Captain.
Our counteroffensive has changed the course of the war. However, the western part of the continent and the area around the space elevator still remain under Erusian control. As you all know, this is because they have those damn Arsenal birds controlling the skies around the lighthouse. So, we're going to use Stonehenge for a long-range attack against the Arsenal bird. In addition to helping to destroy the asteroid, Stonehenge was also utilized by the Erusian forces as a weapon in the Continental War. However, the majority of the artillery is out of action after an air raid by the independent state Allied forces. When that happened, the main base was being repaired from the damage caused by the asteroid, so it managed to escape the bombardment.
Yeah, the Astro was
The Ocean Army
one of the other.
continued the repairs in secret and managed to reactivate its base systems. Once preparations are complete, it will be able to fire again. However, the officer in charge has yet to confirm whether it can be fired more than once. In other words, it is looking like we may have only one chance to be able to bring down one of those invulnerable Arsenal birds. We're going all in on this one plan. The Erusian forces have detected our movements and are marching on Stonehenge. The Arsenal bird is closing in, but if our operation goes as planned, we should be able to shoot it down before it reaches the operation area. We've set up strong points we call menhirs around Stonehenge. Provide them with air support while keeping air superiority. To protect Stonehenge until it can shoot down that. If we can shoot down even just one arsenal bird, it will significantly reduce the scale of the network. Stone bringing down an arsenal bird. Missing is a luxury we cannot afford.
So yeah, in the other game you use that to fire at the meteor in the other game. So this is genuinely one of our favorite missions. It's kind of the same as like, oh, you destroy everything, but there's no points. It's just blow people up before they can wipe out your guys and wipe out that. It's kind of a wave mission, and it's super fun. It's genuinely one of our favorite missions in the game. I've never done it with these controls, so this is gonna be a bit of a fun off. But now we've learned that UAVs are possibly the most disgusting thing in the world. Oh shit. We're just seeing some of the channels we know that or some recommended stuff that's on. Yeah, it's about, we're about to start blowing some stuff up. It's gonna be a good time.
Attention, all defensive and air support teams. In order to get up and running, what I need most from you is time. As long as you can provide me that, my program will bring down the Arsenal bird.
That was Major Deanna McConey. I'm Warrant Officer Lehman, a specialist.
That's our first target.
The operation to destroy the Arsenal bird.
It's gonna be a long fight. Don't waste any ammo.
So that's Stonehenge, huh? It's bigger than I imagined. Uglier, too.
Look at that mess of cables. They're using generator trucks to run it.
Are we sure that thing's even gonna fire? Seriously, I mean, how old is it?
If it doesn't, then our luck is run dry. I'd get praying if I were you.
Well, if it works, it'll bring down even an Arsenal. Big if. And it'd have to hit.
Alright. Wait, are our drones just going crazy on people? We're down, buddy.
6. Request for air support confirmed. Help is on the way.
Listen up. Our job is to defend here. That's all. You got it? This should be easy. Go on your paycheck.
Vehicle eliminated.
Get
This is Menhir 6. The enemy ground forces have been eliminated. Much obliged.
That was the fastest we have ever embodied those poor
Alright,
children.
guys. This time you get a whole 45 seconds. Grab some chow or something.
There is one line one of these guys says later that's beautiful. I lost my arm. I'm just gonna stitch it back on. Don't even worry about it. Like, oh, everyone's like, oh god, man. You sure you don't want to like take a seat? Nah,
47 to 97.
it's fine.
Activating. We just need one shot.
This is Menhir 7. We linked up with ground and air support and are ready to drive the enemy back.
Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
This is Menhir 5.
Bombers. Bearing 190. Stonehenge won't survive a bomb run. We have to stop them.
Boom!
There's just no end in sight.
Bombers! There they are! Don't worry, comrades, we'll be right back. Here.
Allied aircraft, don't worry about us. Take out those bombers.
We've only got 60% green. We've got 30% yellow. 10% is red.
Well, it has been sitting here rusting away for the past 20 years. I'd say a few glitches are to be expected. Hurry and verify the reds and yellows.
Boom!
Hostile bomber destroyed.
Alright, we're going back to support.
Keep Stonehenge safe for us.
The bombers have fallen. 12 seconds. Yeah, now that we've learned about the true drone
Strider
special.
Squadron, you get lost. Head towards Trigger.
Attacking from behind my target. Engage, Rock 2.
Kick it into overdrive.
All enemies attacking
Later.
Bend Near 5 have been eliminated. Good job.
On to the next.
Keep your eyes glued to the ground. Destroy those closest to our allies first.
One shot from Stonehenge and that arsenal burned weak.
Power level is at 40%. 42%.
Tank's destroyed.
Come on, damn it!
Come on, baby. Be good. We need you.
Men here 7 here. Enemy aircraft approaching. We're gonna clean this place out. We don't get air support, we're dead.
Huh? Oh, that's not good.
The ground is shooting at me. More hostiles advancing towards Men here 6. Ground forces haven't noticed yet.
Let's take out the enemy while our friends are still on their feet.
Hold this. Hold that. Oh, no, you don't. After some of our boys, huh?
Watch out for anti-aircraft fire. You can't afford to lose anyone right now. This is Men here 7. Enemy reinforcements. They're attacking in waves. Leaving into the aircraft with the LRFFT. Our target is on the ground.
I knew wave attacks were a thing, but I didn't think they'd be this effective. They just keep coming.
Now we can take that thing out real fast.
Is that thing really gonna fire?
In the clouds.
That's taken care of.
Oh, baby, we're saved! Whoever is flying the plane with 3 lines, I'm buying you a beer later.
Eh,
Looks like the enemy has even more
Take it
firepower.
away.
We must hold the front line.
make it a good one, friend. 2 more UAVs.
Bombers. They're high. Altitude 8,000. Bearing 150.
The enemy's going all out, too.
Railgun power supply is... Damn it. Numbers aren't going up.
Bypass through the auxiliary condenser.
There's still a
Come on, damn it!
artillery on the ground as well. Keep your eyes open.
Okay.
Nickel.
Fox 2. Strider 1. Target destroyed.
We Fox 2, we thought we were Strider 1.
We've wiped out half of them. Keep it up.
Boom.
Visual on target. Prepare for bombing run.
Alright, now to find those bombers.
Take out all bombers.
This is Men here 5. We've
Got it.
engaged the enemy reinforcements. We're ready to take it to them.
It's like goddamn whack-a-mole out here. I'm already exhausted.
Put your teeth and fly. Remember that the fate of the whole war depends on this mission. I got the guards. This is Men here 6. That's the last of the enemy reinforcements.
Strider 1.
I gave my men a 15-minute vacation. Sorry, I need a short breather myself. I'll just be stitching on my lost limb. Should be back before lunch.
Did you say?
Got
See
it.
the smoke from here. Get those bombers.
Yeah, and single-handedly.
The bird with the 3
Work.
lines.
Back to
It's
open
gotta
ground.
be him. Enemy visual detected. Evading.
It is great that at this point in the war, everyone's like, it's him!
Nickel.
It's him! The literal comic strip.
Back to the Stone Age.
Nickel. Nickel.
I never thought I'd see numbers like this. Guess that's how you know it's important. Looks like we're helping shape history.
On his back.
We've already thrown everything we've got at Stone. What's it gonna take?
Strider 1. Target destroyed.
That should take care
reinforcements facing Menhir 5. Good going.
And now we deal with these. They're allowed to bomb my rooms.
This is Glitter. Mission accomplished. Looks like I needed a time. Let that damn OCM army. Imagine I had to join this. Let's have to take them out.
Prepare to launch an all-out attack. Don't stop until Stonehenge is rubble.
They speak like they're in the base. They're not in there.
More guests. Bombers and their escorts. Bearing 1-7.
Wait, they're not in the base.
Shit. I wanna go smack them down. Those boys below are hanging on by a thread. You want me to choose?
Power level is at 80%. Think we should take our shot?
Patience. Don't want to waste everyone's hard work. Let's wait to 100.
I guess you're right. Give the fire control system one last check while we're waiting.
Roger.
So what the? Just
We successfully defended Menhir 7. Good work, everyone. It's the LRSSG. Without them, we probably would have been the ones in trouble.
they're coming from the back.
More bombers approaching.
Move it!
Intercept them now.
Trigger, what the hell are you doing?
Enemy rocket unit coming from the southwest. And helo-borne assault from the northeast. They're planning a direct assault on Stonehenge. Stop them.
What do you mean, what are we doing? We're killing everyone.
Let's split up. Take whichever way you like.
Stonehenge is taking damage. Major McConey, are you alright in there?
Major is busy with the work. We're gonna need you to please keep up the defense. Don't leave us three. Attack failed. Bandit in my sight.
Strider 1, missile away.
All these bombers need to die. You made a mistake. You tried to think you were good. I'm just clean. Oh, I thought you were going to come around for another attack runner.
We're doing everything we can to fire as quickly as possible. Just buy us some time until then. Prepare to fire. They know we're here. So shoot them before they shoot us. How long till you're ready? Once we fire, that cannon will crumble and the battle will end. Okay. Human units all yours, Trigger. Lead the way and eliminate the enemy. Cyclops, take the rocket unit. Roger that. They evaded it.
Miss, target's still active.
Yeah.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Just focus on doing your job. They will handle their job to protect us from the enemy outside.
There's a lot of choppers. Man, that would suck to be one of those doing this.
Enemy rockets have hit Stonehenge. This isn't good.
This place is in shambles. I'm not sure I can take the shock of firing the railgun.
There's too much debris. We've got injured.
All aircraft, you copy. Protect Stonehenge now.
Working on it.
Intercept them now. Cyclops Squadron has eliminated the rocket unit. Keep it up. Helo assault unit is down. If they had infiltrated Stonehenge, it would have been all over. Good work.
Well, to say, like, there was a guy talking like he was about to attack. Like, who was that?
Given my program, a lot of the time is easy. Stonehenge will be ready to fire shortly.
Stand by. I'm picking up something on my radar. The signal is massive. It's the Arsenal bird.
Is it? Alright, we did it. We held the line. That got a little dicey with those bombers again. I didn't think they I didn't realize there'd be so many that they like get so close.
visual. Arsenal bird confirmed. Here they come.
A swarm of UAVs is launching from the Arsenal bird. Keep them away from Stonehenge.
Close to the target, fewer the variables. How long till we can fire? Firing at 60! Hear that? Keep us safe till then.
Fire control system inspection complete. Radar error correction is good to go.
Over in the third vehicle.
You're gonna make it out, I promise you.
Hard the thing, whatever.
Releasing safety!
No pressure.
Another one down. That plane is amazing.
Confirm voltage!
Come on, boys, fire the shot.
Scout, stabilize the craft and get out. Sorry, it's up to you now.
We have confirmation. Live projectile is loaded.
Power level is at 100%. Take down one by one.
15 seconds. Frame control? All green. Initiate final countdown.
Understood. Commencing final countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Come on. Oh, we didn't hear a shot.
Stop the countdown. We've lost the target.
Starting to shut down.
Con? What? The stupid thing is flying in the open.
The survey data isn't updating. No response from our spotter.
Survey vehicle
What?
down.
Those beasts are eyes. Without those, I'm sorry.
Don't give up yet, Major. We still have sensors. Our eyes. The oldest sensors in the book. What are you scheming?
They're too unreliable.
Not bad.
That's something.
Impossible. Rerouting circuit. We can't do any more. Half the battery containers are out. We can't carry out our mission.
Come on, damn it! Attention,
Come on,
all
just
personnel.
spot with it.
We have a change in the mission. We will now be using direct fire to shoot down the Arsenal bird. Listen, attack the central propellers. If you can destroy them, the Arsenal bird will slow down.
Strider 1,
Okay.
Cyclops 1. Pair up and attack that propeller. Everyone else, defend Stonehenge from the UAVs.
Wilco. Jaeger, you take the lead.
He's readying its APS.
I'm going. The propellers are too much for Trigger alone.
Damn glory hound. Do your friggin' job.
Cal, we need someone who
All
can
the
take
way.
down those UAVs. It's up to you.
Trigger, do not foobar this.
Unbelievable. Stonehenge plays an honest-to-goodness rage table? Well, isn't that curious?
Guess they knew what they were doing.
This whole operation is crazy. Well, only a total madman could bring down the Arsenal bird.
Give us the UTM coordinates under the Arsenal bird, and we'll calculate the range. And I need you to be exact.
Cyclops 3 missile incoming. Look out.
I have to check. Fantastic. Send a request for rescue. Conditions look great. Expect some injuries.
Alright, man.
60 seconds remain. Right hand on the Arsenal bird's central propeller.
Give me a second. It's been a while since I checked out this control. The angle on this table accounts for this and the coil force.
They're both blown!
From here. Not much wind. Rest is just instinct.
All right, that takes care of the propellers. Arsenal bird is slowing down. Cyclops 4 has been hit. Are you all right?
I'm fine. We can't lose any more
Hold
allies.
down as much as you can. When it's down here.
And you did it. Get back to base.
Wilco, over.
Arsenal bird propeller destroyed.
Power level is at 100%.
Canard part. Stonehenge. Shift.
Understood. Begin final countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Adjusting angle.
3, 2, 1. Fire! Hit,
Goodbye.
damn
Yeah, if that thing could take out a meteor, that bird should actually be split in half. That just sucks that we don't know which game you shoot the meteor, because we want to play that and see that something that stupid. There were 3 of those guns there! We just got 1 working. There was 3 that shot that thing.
Is it really over now?
Much like an anime.
Reporting mission success.
Good.
Lehman, this victory belongs to you. That was a good lesson on the importance of manual control.
Today's MVPs are the LRSSG.
I'll say, especially those
Actually, there's about 7.
They're the Ocean
There's
Big
7.
Shots. We can win if we follow them. The Ocean Big Shots?
You mean the Ocean Big Shot?
Looks like we're on the offensive now. The enemy's defensive range dropped along with that arsenal bird.
That just means more pie for us.
Are we gonna eat the whole thing?
The brass is always hungry for more. They've got a bottomless appetite. But enough about that. Get some rest now before the counterattack.
It's genuinely one of my favorite
Got
missions.
our hands dirty for nothing. The guys were babbling about a 3-line marking. Look into that for me.
Dude, this is one of our favorites, just because that's the point where everyone looks at Trigger and goes, oh god, it's them. It's the dude. Man, you can go real far out on this mission, though. You see how big the map was? We were like only 25% of the way there after that. That's a big map. Most of these, we don't really see why you fly through. We can maybe see if you just like flying through with the planes, but like, the city maps, we could definitely see why someone would want to just fly through and just have fun.
This victory marks a strategic turning point.
Oops, didn't mean to skip that.
The enemy has only 1 arsenal bird left, and the defensive grid around the space elevator has been decimated. We can expect a counteroffensive by Ocean forces everywhere.
We're gonna go until a very certain mission.
When I recall my homeland, my thoughts are filled with the sights and sounds of the city. But home means something different to each and every one of us. Therefore, I've decided to visit every place where our citizens call home. The Kingdom of Erusia is a land of diversity. Each region has its own unique and special culture.
There's a very certain mission we're waiting for. Then we'll go start the DLC. We'll do the first half of the DLC, and then we'll do the second half and finish the game next time.
The destruction of one of their arsenal birds has significantly reduced the scale of Erusia's air defense network. Ocean forces have moved into the areas where we gained air superiority and freed over half of the Eusian continent. However, Erusia is feeling the pressure.
We thought
reacting
that
by
in the middle
attempting to
was
activate
Lost
the
Canada.
ballistic missile base in the suburbs of Sierra Plata. For the past 72 hours, they've put the resources and people into action and have already entered the final stages of a launch. The missile silo is deep underground. To destroy it, we'll need a bomber to drop a huge deep penetration bomb in a precise place. Unfortunately, that airspace is thick with clouds at the moment, so it'll be difficult for a bomber to hit the target accurately. Normally, we'd wait for the weather to clear, but with the situation being what it is, we don't have that option. So, we will be the bomber's eyes and find the missile silo. You'll all be equipped with targeting pods instead of special weapons. We need you to fly at low altitude and visually identify which silo they're activating, then acquire it with your targeting pod. Once you press the firing switch, the bombers will drop their payload based on the location data provided by the targeting pod. You will need to keep the silo in the center of your sight until the bomb hits its target, or else it will miss entirely. It takes a high level of airmanship to properly guide these bombs to their targets while flying the plane. Naturally, we assume the enemy has positioned anti-air artillery and aircraft in the area of operations, so stay alert.
Yeah, they show you going in a circle.
We
If
suffered
you do that,
human and material
don't.
losses in the last battle. The Cyclops Squadron will sit this one out. Trigger, it's up to you to make this work with just Strider Squadron.
That should be easy enough. Alright, so there's one. Maybe that one over there. And there. 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 Yep. Got it. Yeah, some of these are fake. Some of those are fake. We have... Yeah, so basically we can't use UAV. But that's fine, because this mission really doesn't need UAV. There's not really a reason we need it. UAV is so powerful, though. We should definitely upgrade its load limit, honestly. Like, power, it's good, but we feel like even without power, it would blow up the things we're telling it to blow up. Especially with two of them, it would feel like it would do it. They genuinely just need more.
Arusia only has 5 IRBM silos in total. Therefore, the enemy's made a number of fake silos to try and throw our bombers off the scent.
Did you say fake?
They're painted to look like the real thing from the sky. Can't tell the difference.
It's the wing of that LRSSG.
Alright, let's hop too.
We've got the bombs. You do the terminal guidance.
In order to use the targeting pods, you'll need to change weapons first. Try to align the missile silo with the circle in the center of your HUD. When you're lined up, hit the firing switch and the bomb will drop. You're gonna need to keep the silo aligned until the bomb hits. The enemy set up anti-air weapons in multiple locations.
Ooh,
We need to work together to take them
the
down.
funky 80s rock jam.
Keep the targeting pod trained on that silo until the payload is delivered.
Bunker buster hit its mark. Time for fireworks.
Destruction of
Yep,
first
that was a
missile
real one.
silo confirmed.
The IRBM is aimed at the OTM garrison. Soldiers' lives are at stake. We have no time.
They completely lost it. You can bet on it.
Let's end this madness.
Dropping another bunker buster will take some time. Aim carefully.
Look, there's fire shooting up from the ground.
Missile silo destroyed.
Ow, ow.
That makes 2. No launch signs yet.
We might be able to pull this off. Let's keep it up and get the rest of these silos.
Picking up an enemy squadron. It must be the reinforcements they called in. They don't appear to be going after our bomber.
It is cool that when you go in the clouds, the
Take them
music
out if they
kind of
interfere with our
like goes
mission.
down a bit. That's
Enemy behind you!
Bunker buster away.
The bomb was off its mark. The target is still standing.
Hostile has a lock.
for some reason this mission is genuinely trying to slap us to the left. Won't let him though. It was a fake one! No, it was a real one! That was fake, that was real, huh?
Where do we look next? The sky feels open and free today. As a Cyclops, I felt like a bird in a cage. Once this mission's over, I guess we'll be back under the company commander's thumb again. What a pain in the ass. This is a serious mission. Was it Wiseman who gave Strider 2 account? Mission changes every mission. I'm sure he has a reason for it. I'll believe that when I see it. I'm just glad he won't be there to cheat my ear off.
That was a fake. No structures visible.
Let's see what we got here. Let's look here.
Shaking off enemy lock!
Bunker buster away.
Right on the money.
Hit. Target destroyed.
So, we're the only one with this thing, huh?
They are to find. Good luck.
We might make it. Just one silo left.
I'm like a wolf that's been let off its leash. These guys won't know what hit him. I thought you were a bird. It's cage. Must have been a decoy. No fire or explosions on the ground. This is nothing compared to what we faced in the last mission. I've been spiked.
Yeah, but if one missile gets out, that's gonna be a lot of dead people. These like nukes are just like actual missiles.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Warning, enemy has a bead on you.
Missile.
That's fun.
Missile.
Enemy closing on your 6. Hit, but it was
Hit
off
but
the
not
mark.
destroyed.
Let's give him another.
Missile.
Warhead should be
Missile.
standard missile will be fight. Take your pick.
This one's wide open.
Strider 1 in the coordinates. Firing the bunker buster.
What?
Grab 7, bandit. All right, am I back?
Missile.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure why it decided to fire way over there, right?
Trigger, bomb has been dropped. All missile silos have been destroyed.
Wait, what the hell is that?
What? Oh,
Alert! We've detected an IRBM launch.
You what?
Confirmed signature on our radar. Launch site
Oh,
is
yeah?
Damn.
Not from the
Alright,
silos.
you
They certainly
psychopath.
hit it well. We still have a chance. Shoot it down before it reaches critical altitude. Strider 1, target acquired.
Come here!
Confirmed signature on our radar.
Okay. Got him.
Warning,
What?
confirm another launch. Take it out.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Where's this other missile we're in now? Where's that at? Or this way then. Somewhere in this thing. There it is!
Missile.
Are we going down or up?
Missile.
Oh, we're upside.
Missile. Missile.
New hostiles. All aircraft confirmed.
Missile.
Additional launch confirmed.
Incoming. Strider 2, Fox 2.
The target will soon reach critical altitude.
Stall warning.
About to say, if that missile doesn't explode, we don't know what to do.
They evaded it. Enemy on your rear.
How is it so far over there?
They took a bite out of me. Breaking. Fox 2.
Isn't it weird that we can sometimes not fucking tell where these things are? Because we're upside down and like, we're like moving around so much, it's actually really hard to tell where we are anymore. Sky yet?
Bandit acquired.
There it is. Once we lock onto you, it's all over. Interregional ballistic missile? So it's not a nuke, right? Intercontinental ballistic missile isn't a nuke, correct? Are we wrong? Are we mistaken in that one?
The target will soon reach critical altitude.
Well, that thing was definitely a nuke.
I was getting it pretty close.
Well-
I was starting to get a little nervous.
You're telling me you had us sweating up here, and there wasn't even anything we could do about it. Glad we were partnered with you on this operation.
That went about as expected. Be sure to include in the report how much ass I kicked while off the company commander's leash. Roger that, and I'll be sure to include all the crap you said about Wiseman, too.
You know how much time we're making? We'll probably beat both the DLC and then go on to the next mission. We'll see. We know at least one other mission that happens before the main attack. We also thought this would take a little longer. But the DLC also has 2 extra missions. Well, the DLC, like, the first part, we're pretty sure has 2 missions, and then the second part is 2.
We have successfully prevented an enemy ballistic missile attack. Strider Squadron, you did very well. We are now preparing for the final stage of our long-range operation, seizing the capital.
I mean, it'll be a bit of a shorter stream, just because we don't want to go too long tonight. Clairvoyant, nice. Wide Why did we get that? Who knows? We got it. This is kind of an alright mission. This mission's not bad, it's not great, it just died. It's fun.
With the loss of an arsenal bird, followed by the destruction of their ballistic missile base, Erussia is running out of ways to counter. This is a great opportunity for the Osean army to bolster our power to eventually take down the Erusian capital of Farbanti. The special long-range strategy is entering its final phase. Our objective is to attack and capture the Erusian Air Force Base in Cape Rainy in northern Erusia. This important base is at the forefront of our strategy to establish control of Farbanti. Under the cover of night, our plan is that all squadrons will invade from the valley to the south and mount an air assault on the area. The enemy's observation field has eyes on the skies above the valley, to be restricted. If you go over a certain, the enemy could spot you, ending the mission in failure. Once you arrive, you are to take out the enemy's air defense forces as soon as possible and prepare for the support squadrons. When the air defense forces are neutralized, the helicopter squadron should arrive carrying Marines. The plan is to take control of the base. Half the job.
This is the mission we were looking forward to but are nervous about, because this one you have to stay in the valley and be really careful. It kind of reminds us of Assault Horizon. They did a mission that we're all of them have a mission. So, this mission, like, you have to stay, as I said, below a certain altitude in a valley, but you have to be, like, really careful with your valley. Like, you have to be really careful with how you're going through it. It's Really? That doesn't count it? Are they just not counted in special missile in general? Huh. No. Huh. We'll take onboard jamming. That'll make it to where it's harder for them to missiles will have a hard time blocking. We didn't really have trouble with missiles, but it's just nice to know that you don't have to deal with it, especially in the DLC where they bump up that difficulty curve real fast.
Nighttime aerial refueling process. Be careful of reduced visibility.
Ooh, nighttime refueling. How far?
1,500 meters to tanker. Too fast. Lower airspeed.
Yeah, we know. Oh, we know it's too fast. We gotta actually get there.
500 meters. You have permission to access the refueling tanker. Make right. Trigger, maintain your current approach.
The wonky as fuck approach. That's the approach you want us to maintain, huh? I respect it, but what?
50 meters. That's some nice flying, Trigger.
Boom.
Refueling initiated. Maintain your current position.
Yes, the fuel. And now we can kill a lot of
Strider
people.
1, you have passed through waypoint 1. No weapons until you reach the enemy base. All aircraft, reduce altitude. We have altitude restrictions from here on out. Keep altitude below 600 meters.
Caution. Pull up.
Good. Maintain your current course.
Caution.
Searchlight
Pull
up ahead. Watch for it.
Caution. Caution.
Stay out of their sight.
Strider, fast and
Usually we just used to gun at full speed, but in this plane with how fast it goes, that is genuinely
We'll get
asking
you
to
down
kill.
safe. I'm worried you're short on men. Everyone here's already signed their wills. That ain't funny.
Caution. Pull up.
Never was good at jokes.
Caution.
Okay,
Pull up.
follow you in. Good luck.
Caution. Pull up.
Understood.
Spotted enemy aircraft in the valley headed for the base.
We've been detected. We've lost the element of surprise.
Trigger's down!
Strider 1, you have passed
right,
through
we-
waypoint 1. No weapons until you reach the enemy base. All aircraft, reduce altitude. We have altitude restrictions from here on out.
Caution.
Make that a little bit.
Keep altitude below 600 meters.
Caution.
Good.
Pull up.
Maintain your current course.
Caution.
Searchlight up ahead.
Caution.
Watch for it.
Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
Stay out of their sight.
Caution. Caution.
Strider, Aslan's 1. Our current ETA matches yours. Catch them off guard. Can we secure the LZ quickly?
We'll get you down safe. I'm worried you're short on men.
Strider 1, you're flying too high. You're gonna get picked up by
Everyone here's already signed their wills.
Caution.
That ain't funny.
Woo, okay.
Good at jokes.
Caution.
Okay,
Pull up.
follow you in. Good luck.
Caution.
Understood.
Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
Strider 1, you've passed through waypoint 2.
Caution.
The valley's about to get narrower. Be careful.
Oh, fucking good.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
We were scared it would get wider.
Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Oh,
When
son
can
of
we
a
take on the
bitch.
final mission? I'm starting to get tired of all this.
This is the last step, Count. We'll take the enemy base and use it as a bridgehead.
Watch yourselves out there. We're going to need all of you in Far Bounty. Without Wiseman here, everybody wants to give orders like they're the company commander himself.
Pull up.
And the best thing about Strider Squadron is that our leader keeps his mouth shut. Watch your speed.
Caution.
You've passed waypoint 3. You're coming up on the base. Imposing radio silence.
Oh, sweet Jesus,
We'll
no.
talk again and tell
Oh,
you
there's a
about the
lot of
base.
spotlights.
Continue to keep an eye on your altitude.
But you didn't see a
Dark
thing.
spots
You
that can
don't
sneak up
know
on you.
anything.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
You think they'd hear it, right? Like, you'd hear a jet.
Caution.
Maybe not. Would you? Surely you would hear a jet.
Caution. Pull up. Caution.
You're going at full speed and not like this. Like old school World
You
War
just passed
II
through
planes would
waypoint
see
4.
those on the way.
Radio silence has been lifted.
Really?
You're almost at the base.
We made it. That was quite the roller coaster ride. Visual confirmation on the airbase. Reach destination.
Commence the attack. It's time for their wake-up call.
Hey,
The longer it takes, the
how's
worse
it
off
going?
we'll be. Hurry up. Finish them off.
All right, let's give the beating.
Assault warning.
get it.
Caution. Pull up.
And goodbye.
Target eliminated.
Caution.
Enemies are attacking!
Strider 1, target
Where the hell
acquired.
did they come from?
We come from everywhere. Yet nowhere.
Searchlights! I can't see where they're coming from.
It looks like the
Now
enemy's
we
air
have
defenses
some
are online. Guess they finally decided to wake up. Keep up the attack. The sooner we finish this thing, the better.
Vehicle.
This is Aslan's 1. Arrive in the AO. Landing down.
Roger that.
Assault warning.
If the enemy is still present in large numbers when our ground forces arrive,
Oh,
mission will be a failure. Go help our allies.
Be quick. Found them on time with visas free.
Your jokes haven't gotten any better.
Missile away.
Assault warning.
And back into the cover of darkness.
We've lost 30% of our AA guns.
takes care of all the SAM sites.
Caster, hostiles are still near the LZ. Can't make our approach.
Multiple helicopters spotted. Do you have a visual on them? Strider 1, I need you to take out those enemies in the LZ.
They got a lock on you, Strider 1.
Okay.
We need to immediately destroy anything that'll
Start
jeopardize the
going to
landing.
regret that decision.
Bandit acquired. Initiating attack.
Missile.
Enemy dodged. Continuing attack.
What?
Target acquired.
Dance.
Allied down.
Strider 1, watch your tail.
Stall warning.
Or we won't. Or we'll die.
The timing couldn't be worse. This puts our delivery staff in danger.
Fox 2. Fox 2. They're after you, Strider 1.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Task 1. Landing down. Trust your allies and keep moving. Space is ours for the taking.
Caution. Alert.
Wait the base, Commander. What are you waiting for?
Man,
The last of
did
our
we take them?
guns. They've all been taken out. Enemy has them up. We've engaged the enemy reinforcements. Requesting immediate close air support.
Copy that. We'll send some your way.
Pizza guy's in trouble. Let's help him out. It's all right. Those two Ozian big shots will take care of him for us.
Yeah.
Target eliminated. Great work.
Okay, that attack just took out the enemies on the front line. The way ahead is cleared up. You have our thanks.
Give me a damage report.
Didn't get it. Alright, coming for another one.
This more than a surprise attack.
And good night, sweet friends.
Target destroyed.
Break! Break!
Picking up an enemy squadron. It must be the reinforcements they called in.
Confirmed at least one leader.
Bitch.
It's the one with the 3 scratches.
Okay, some hair. Some of our hair slid down our arm. Spike.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Shit.
These enemy reinforcements, they're stopping us. We can't do
Whoa,
anything
whoa,
about
whoa,
their air
okay.
power. We need support.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Oh, come on now. Using flares? That's cheap.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Ambush! Stay calm! Reform the ranks!
Good.
Lancaster, requesting close air support.
Strider Squadron, enemy reinforcements. Get some goddamn support there now.
The enemy numbers are small. Don't give in. Fight until the very end. This is 2-2. We're stuck. We won't be able to capture the base at this rate.
Keep your heads down. 3 strikes will take care of the enemy.
Stall warning.
Bandit acquired. Initiating attack. Attack successful. Target selected. Strider 1 was shot down.
Oh. You realize that we were that close to death?
Visual confirmation on the airbase. Reach destination.
Commence the attack. It's time for their wake-up call. The longer it takes, the worse off we'll be. Hurry up. Finish them off.
All right, let's give them a beating.
Strider 1, locked on target.
I'm gonna have to blow those up.
Missile away.
They're just kind of bonus points, really.
Confirming Strider 1 destroyed target.
Surely they'll turn on their, like, defenses at some point,
Stall warning.
right?
Stall warning. Caution.
I was like, surely they'll turn their stuff on.
Stall warning.
It looks like the enemy's air defenses are online. I guess they finally decided to wake up. Keep up the attack. The sooner we finish this thing, the better.
This is Passwords 1. Arrive in the air. Landing down.
Roger that. If the enemy is still present in large numbers when our ground forces arrive, the mission will be a failure. Go help our allies.
Be quick. Gotta move on time. Means it's free.
Your jokes haven't gotten any better.
Target in gun range.
Nice. On the bright side, most spotlights are blowing up, we think. Only to see a spotlight on us.
Okay, that takes care of all the SAM sites.
I see, I see.
Multiple helicopters spotted. Do you have a visual on them? Strider 1, I need you to take out those enemies in the LZ. Strider 1, target destroyed.
There we go.
Landing down. Trust your allies and keep moving. Space and hours will take it.
Wait in the base, Commander. What are you waiting for? That's the last of our anti-air guns. They've all been taken out.
Trying to take out destroys.
We've engaged the enemy reinforcements. Requesting immediate close air support.
Copy that. We'll send some your way.
Pizza guy's in trouble. Let's help him out.
Yep, don't worry,
Those two Austrian big shots will take care of them for us.
Target destroyed by Strider 1.
Strider Squadron, do it quickly. We'll lose the element of surprise.
Air support is on its way.
Target eliminated. Great work.
No, you can try that again.
Okay, that attack just took out the enemies on the front line. The way ahead is cleared up. We have our thing.
Give me a damage report. We've suffered heavy losses. It's more than a surprise attack.
Picking up an enemy squadron. It must be the reinforcements they called in.
It's one enemy. Like your 3 scratches.
Target acquired.
That's us. How you doing?
Shut down one of us.
Emergency! See the enemy reinforcements? They're stopping us! We can't do anything about their air power. We need support.
We still got 3 enemy fighters left. It's not over yet.
Pursuing enemy.
We're trying to blow up as many as we can.
That only scratched me up. Continuing with combat.
2 remaining.
Ambush, stay cool. Keep from the ranks. Lancaster, requesting close air support.
Strider Squadron, enemy reinforcements. Get some goddamn support there now.
Actually, there is.
Enemy numbers are small. Don't give in. Fight until the very end.
One last enemy
That's a
fighter.
lot of pain we're now in.
Missile inbound. Drinking. Strider 3 launching missile.
Break.
That's a hit.
They're trying to kill our boys.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
That takes care of that. Nice work.
We did it. That's the last of them. Achieved air superiority.
Vehicle confirmed.
Take out those 2. We can hit the facility.
Strider 1 is bagged at bed.
You boys better be A-okay down there on the ground now.
Gun confirmed destroyed. Target's destruction confirmed. That air support was right on the money.
Keep pushing the enemy on their heels.
Okay. Start running on the count of 3.
You all good? And those lights when we're moving makes us think there's more like gunshots and we're really confused about it. Those are our boys in the ground. Who are they?
Great. I guess we're glad to send my boys in to ring the doorbell.
Those
Still
are
quite a few enemies hold up in there. However, we can't afford to wait any longer. Begin the assault. If anyone resists, kill them. Contact! 2 o'clock! Go! Go! Fire!
to see him.
Fuck! Tear down that barricade!
How'd it go? This is Basilisk 1. The base is ours. We have control of all major functions.
Glad the pizza was on time. Roger that, Basilisk 1. Mission accomplished.
All prisoners of war will be treated in accordance with international law. We've even brought pizza.
Wait.
Looks like they can shred those wills.
I'm already getting an earful from the men over the needless paperwork.
No joke.
Okay, go ahead and begin your approach. We'll do the flight control.
Roger that.
Strider 1, this is Basilisk. The runway
That's a
is
fun.
clear.
The
We
first
have
part of that
permission
mission is
to
pretty
land.
fun. The second
Guard
part's
your
just kind of.
guard.
It's not bad. The first part is like really fun though to test how far your piloting skills have come along. It's like the first mission where it's like, oh, you can't go on the radar, but there's nothing like, even if you go in, there's nothing to hit, so you're just kind of following a line. This time it's like, yeah, if you hit something, you'll die. Also, if you go too high, you'll die. Also,
Roll your
if you.
nose. You're too high. 1,500 meters to the runway. You are right on course. Maintain current heading.
Our helicopter's just in the air for raisins. We can land. Or at least perfect to us.
Impressive, Strider 1. Strider 1 has landed. Let's go and greet him.
Strider 1, you have passed through waypoint.
That one we might have actually gone over the camera just to see what those guys look like, but they need a way faster, like, speed up.
Excellent work on the night raid. Submarines have arrived from the Ocean mainland and are refueling. This base will serve as a frontline platform for our mission to take Farbanti. We're almost at the end of this operation.
Next would be the actual mission to, like, take him, right?
Mihai's second sortie was designed to calculate how his physiology changed under the stress of combat. My job was to compare his performance as a pilot now to when he was younger and understand how his skills evolved. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure I wanted to know the answers anymore. For a man his age, Mihai's body was unbelievably resilient, remarkably flexible. His reflexes were as sharp as they ever were. Still, after all those years of flying in the outer layers of the atmosphere, even someone as strong as Mihai wasn't immune to the effects of the strain. The human body is fragile. It was not meant to handle the excessive amounts of radiation that constantly bombarded the stratosphere. For Mihai's second sortie, we used a flight suit that was still untested. He seemed fine on takeoff, but by the time he landed back at the base, he was clearly a mess. He got caught in a surprise dogfight with an especially stubborn enemy. It took a while for Mihai
What?
to bring
Not
him
us? What are you
down.
talking about?
The suit was ineffective. According to the data, it wouldn't let him fly to his full potential. A new flight suit was made
Wait, so
to my
when we were
exact
flying and attacking him, was that just like technically
When
a
it
drone
finally
with him in
arrived,
it?
Mihai's
Oh, that
friend
makes
guards
sense when we
glared
saw
at
the
me
ball.
with their disapproval. They blamed me for the pain their grandfather had to keep enduring. But Mihai remained stoic. He wasn't the type of man who cared about anything that happened here on the ground. I wasn't worried about it. I was confident the new suit would protect him thoroughly, so that he could maneuver his plane any way he wanted. The moment he took off in his new flight suit, I realized what I had failed to before. Right after takeoff, as the wheels retracted, the plane suddenly arced up. It accelerated so quickly. I had never seen a plane move like that before. Mihai hit the high G's multiple times before disappearing into the blue. The support team couldn't even keep up. And then I knew. I understood why he never seemed to care about restoring his stolen country back to its former glory, and why he didn't seem to care about anything that happened here on the ground. Of course, Mihai's kingdom was the sky.
Why is this? Oh. This would be the actual mission. Okay.
The operation to capture Erusia's capital, Farbanti, is beginning. This is the culmination of our work. We need to capture the Erusian forces' general headquarters in the south of Farbanti and end this war. The plan is for ground troops to attack Farbanti from both the east and north, and a task fleet will attack.
Technically, this has. Yeah, we're not doing that yet. Because we gotta go to the DLC. Because you see. The DLC actually happens beforehand. We're going for normal because anything else is ridiculous. Oh man, we thought there was 4 missions. Alright, what we'll do then is we'll play the first one, I guess over 2 hours, and then we'll stop for the night. And then next time we'll finish Doom's last DLC, and then we will finish Ace Combat. We don't know what we'll play after that. We might actually play Daymare. That could be fun. This happens a little, maybe a couple missions back.
Hey, Alex. I've almost finished writing the summary for the report.
Perfect.
I'm still unconvinced. So here's a question for you, Alex. How can we do this without killing 3 strikes?
Fencer still hasn't recovered?
He has, but the doctor won't let him fly.
Just as much.
How much longer are you gonna make me wait?
Who's the self-important stiff?
Here, and he really is quite important.
We're connected. Ready now, sir.
I'm Brigadier General Howard Clemens. I'm in charge of this operation. Our objective is to capture an advanced submarine in harbor at Artiglio. The port of Artiglio and the surrounding oil facilities were mostly destroyed by another air operation.
Oh, that port. Seems like such a long time ago.
You've been there?
However, Erusian forces repaired the facilities and used them to resupply and maintenance a massive submarine.
Here's a question. How long do you think this submarine is? If you guess 495 meters, you're right. It also has a width of 116 meters, with a submerged displacement of 810,000 tons. It's a supersized nuclear submarine powered by 2 liquid metal-cooled reactors.
I guess it really is huge. So who's the quiz show host?
David North. I'm an OIA analyst from Advanced Weapons Analysis.
Why isn't he here?
Because he doesn't need to be.
He can perform his analysis at his home office.
Ha! We've got ourselves an armchair detective.
Continue.
I've come to call this super submarine the Alicorn. The Alicorn is a submarine, and yet it can stage aircraft operations like a carrier. It also boasts some serious firepower with its 2 main railguns. Their range is over 400 kilometers.
A real monster if there ever was one.
The sub's force projection capabilities are equivalent to a carrier strike group. Furthermore, it can approach underwater or use aircraft and railguns to attack outside the enemy's range. It has an unusual history befitting such a ship. It was launched 4 years ago. However, it went MIA on a sea trial after being outfitted. It was later found at the bottom of the ocean by chance, and of the 356 crewmen, 330 were rescued.
What are they doing down there?
For how many days was the Alicorn underwater? It was 698 days.
Wow. They were down there 2 years?
They were on the seafloor at 15 degrees.
So why are they deploying it to the front lines now?
I suspect it has to do with the loss of an arsenal bird and the IRBM cluster.
Huh. Okay, so we just blow up the damn thing?
We capture it. Don't make me repeat myself. We've had reports from local sources that there are weapons of mass destruction aboard the Alicorn.
Source?
If we can secure that evidence, we'll gain advantage in the peace negotiations post-war.
The Ocean Navy has dispatched a fleet, including a landing ship, to capture the Alicorn. Our mission is to secure air superiority and protect this assault and capture task force.
If we take too long, they'll scuttle the sub. The fleet will commence its actions while we seize the skies.
Wouldn't it be risky to bring the fleet in before we secure air superiority?
That is none of your concern.
So basically, you're putting our fleet in danger for political gains.
They should have taught how to address superiors in boot camp.
An EW squadron will be deployed. Their ESM will be a valuable asset. Stay within their range, and you'll have a significant advantage over your enemies. The ETA for the EW aircraft is the same as
with the EW, they might like stop.
Only Strider Squadron will sort it.
Well, I have to sit this one out?
Wait, Wiseman, you're not coming?
I'll be assisting the Brigadier General at HQ.
This is by no means a difficult mission. Your squadron commander's absence shouldn't change that.
So it's just us, huh? It's us versus an army. Well, no time like the present to kill literally everyone ever born. Evo,
Strider Squadron, aircraft
let's go.
prep complete. You're cleared to taxi.
Any day now. Yeah, this DLC just gets ridiculously hard, which kind of makes sense because they assume you'll have played it after the main campaign.
It's a requiem. Set off as soon as we're ready.
This is almost like an anime movie where it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool and it's like cool and somewhat important, but it also has no bearing on the overarching plot. Like, this never comes into the game. This is just a thing that happened.
Here we go. Do it with a bang. Understood. Shit. What's up? Friendly aircraft and EW aircraft will arrive 5 minutes late. What? Retreat and wait for backup.
Retreat not authorized. Gain air superiority at once. Trigger, what now?
Just 4 aircraft? Just talking earth. Come on, it's time to find a real fighter pilot.
Trigger's already kicked off the game.
Going in. After Trigger.
All aircraft engage, weapons free. Sir, you didn't tell us there was a change in the H hour.
In our hotshot one in the last 5 minutes.
Trigger's down!
Ah, damn. We thought we could be cool. You actually can fly through that. They don't say anything if you do. You just kind of wanted to. Generally speaking, you can actually fly through that ship.
Do it with a bang. Understood. Shit. What's up?
Friendly aircraft and EW aircraft will arrive 5 minutes late.
What? Retreat and wait for backup.
Retreat not authorized. Gain air superiority at once. Trigger, what now?
Just for aircraft? You've got some cocky nerve. Come on. It's time to find a real fighter pilot.
Which one of you said that? No. Which one of you bitches said that? Which one of you? Shit.
There was a change to H-out.
You mean our hot shot in the last 5 minutes?
Don't slow down. Not an option.
Hello?
Locked on. Fox 2.
Target is hit.
We've got here. I'm planning on maybe past that line, but we're gonna push over it. Yeah! Here we go, Cap. Miles around him. Locked on hostile. Enemy behind you. Move to cover.
Get him.
Position behind bandit. Pickup number is tougher than I thought.
Shut your trap and keep shooting.
Shit! Do it with a bang. What's wrong with you guys for one last time?
What?
Fine last night, brother. Fox 2.
This generally feels like a fight of where you're just bullying some. In another game, those guys with the deviations of brutality. In this game, they're here to be bullied by Trigger. Trigger just bullies. Boom! Get him!
3 and 4, head to 305. Attack. Center 20, Wilco.
Trigger, we're seeing advanced stealth fighters.
SG-57s, highly capable planes. Stay on your toes if you engage them.
These guys are good.
But it's cool that this ball just gets to body everyone and just hear how cool.
Come on, try me. Nobody's got more combat experience than we do.
Strider squad. Enemy aircraft have begun their assault on the fleet. Swiftly secure our air superiority.
I know that, but we're outnumbered. Pushing back hard.
Come and get me.
Firing. Attack missed.
Behind the enemy.
Strider 1, UAV.
Get off my plane! Shit, boat there. Boom! Man, it's gotta accept that they're about to get bodied by Trigger. That's like genuinely the most cool thing. Like, yep.
I didn't think you'd get her so quickly.
The EW aircraft have strong ESM on board. They can improve your dogfighting capabilities by enhancing missile range, homing, and more.
I'm down quite a few, but haven't even made a dent.
Shut up. You see Trigger complaining?
Well, he doesn't talk much, but fine. Here I go. Drake Squadron, follow me. I'll show you how the pros do it.
Copy that. Show us what you got.
Caution.
Drake 1, engaging. Drake 3, engaging.
I shall switch the plaza.
Ignore enemy aircraft. Focus on ESM. Drake 5, engaging. Drake 8, engaging. Strider 1. Lock on.
Receiving support from ESM.
Hostile has a lock.
Fox 2. Dodged it.
Fox 2.
Strider 1, UAV deployed.
We definitely hit a warning system.
Trigger splashed a hostile.
Good. The ESM's improving your aircraft's dogfighting capabilities.
Trigger shot
What?
down.
No, they're not. We're not even in this.
Okay, I quit. Not counting the numbers anymore.
your eyes on three strikes. You might learn a thing or two. Roger.
Just let Trigger just check. Oh, Trigger, handle it all.
UAV deployed.
Yeah, try outrunning UAV.
That bird over there flies pretty well. Pilots of that caliber were still around.
EW aircraft was hit. It's being attacked by an F-15E. Multiple aircraft approaching this airspace. They're Harriers.
Any moves to attack our fleet must be stopped.
All right.
Getting a real warm welcome here.
Damn sure. It's 3 strikes.
I don't even have time for a snack on this operation.
Just wait. I'll get you a break in a second.
Thanks.
Where you going?
Target acquired.
Got ourselves a bit of a runner, huh?
Keep track of your allies.
Entering ESM range.
Yes! This is the air combat I've been waiting for.
Ammunition 0.
Don't really care about the sub and just want a good fight, huh? Somebody take down their EW aircraft. Bleeding.
Box 2, Box 2.
Be advised, enemy aircraft nearing the landing ship.
Oh.
We're not fighting UAVs. It's just as hard on them as it is on us.
Damage control to CIC. The engines are intact. Looks still good.
No control. Returning to base. Don't forget to tell the mechanics who seems to have a problem with the Type 3 injection.
Assault fighting. Evacuate immediately. The destroyer tight.
Harrier destroyed. Nice work. Those fighters are after the fleet. Take care of the rest.
That would have been way too close if it wasn't for Trigger.
Strider 1, target destroyed. Strider 1, missile away.
Yeah. Why are you running, huh?
Target is down.
Boom!
That gets Trigger at the moment to try to close in on their ship. They're only human. They'll tire out soon enough.
Why are we?
See that? Enemy captains to attack enemy ships.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Stall warning.
Detecting hostile barrage jamming. They brought EW aircraft. I'm displaying the jammed area on your radars. Harrier 2s have all been destroyed.
Good job.
Great work. Missile launched.
My weakness says he saw 3 strikes. I can't stop trembling. Command duty officer. The approaching landing ship is to be considered hostile. Set it as your target. Roger. Set primary target to hostile landing ship Puffin. Our target is the captain of the Puffin, Robin Airy. Captain? Ah, you don't see it. Gunnery is about killing the people on board.
Past the third checkpoint. We're halfway there.
From Puffin to all ships. Change formation.
Full speed ahead. Move in front of the landing ship Puffin. We're going to be their shield.
You see the size of that sub? Why the hell was it not in action all this time?
Effects of friendly ESM are negated inside the enemy's jamming zones. Be careful.
No magic allowed, huh?
We're gonna make sure it doesn't come to that. You ain't no match for me.
Strider 1, box 2.
Bang! And another ship bites
All
the
aircraft be
dust.
advised. Enemy strike fighters are on the approach. They're fullbacks, definitely faster than the ones before.
Pose a serious threat. Take him down.
I know.
On the way, he won't be coming. Step closer to the ship. Oh, buckle.
Take them off. Get in the cloud.
You'll be next. Oh, deal.
Anti-air team. Target enemy aircraft.
Take down the EW aircraft. They're getting us through.
This guy up.
Missile's not homing in properly.
When in range of enemy jammers, missile lock-on and homing capabilities are reduced.
Come on. Boom!
The landing ship is under attack. Keep the enemy away from our ships.
Hard port. We can't push the fleet fast. All personnel, abandon ship.
Look, another destroyer's been sunk.
That's it. Trigger's
Nice kill, Count. With that one, they're in deep away.
Righto.
All enemy EW aircraft confirmed destroyed.
That's good news.
Side hit! Damage control!
This is bad. The damage is spreading.
Working on it.
All aircraft be advised. 2 bogies on the aircraft type S-37.
Burkets. Arusha doesn't have many of those. Where'd they come from?
Enraged? Can I kill him now? I've waited long enough. Use the confusion to get all this 6. Like a true villain, huh? What do you think?
Fire!
Who the hell are they?
Don't call me an idiot. I'd kill you if you weren't my brother.
The bogey shot down an Arusian bird.
What do you mean?
There are no more reinforcements. They must be hostile. You are cleared to engage. Don't
I'm gonna screw you up so bad.
Who are these guys?
We're just filthy bats.
So you wish to fight?
Hostiles just popped out of nowhere.
It's an ECM, type of saturation decoy.
Visually scan for the source.
Do we get him? Not yet.
Trigger, that's a decoy. Need to check your target visually.
Get him, Scream. And stop over platter.
Trigger hit your target.
Good, you're seeing right through their illusions.
Did you see that? They painted canopies on their bellies.
If they're thinking false canopies and decoys will save them, they're dead wrong.
Shit. Scream. We're pulling out. God damn it. 3 strikes. I will have you. You will die.
What?
Hey, what are we doing?
Am I hearing things?
Yeah, sure.
No, I hear it too.
Burn so fast. You won't have enough time to piss your pants.
Hey, those filthy bats are on the run. Let them go.
That bitch was using OCS radio frequency. That's an encrypted military channel.
That's nothing to worry about now. Focus on the mission at hand.
Entering ESM range.
Alrighty.
Rings are thinning.
At last, the light at the end of the tunnel. Continue with your mission. Strider 1, lock on target.
Enemy's got a lock. Bandit acquired. Firing.
I would say we have airspeed.
Strider 1, don't ice up.
4 fighters pretty much dead.
Missile launched.
Missile incoming, evade! I've got a lock. Orders up.
Additional hostiles confirmed. We're detecting surface-to-ship weapons teams around the sub. Eliminate them. Missile launched.
Fox 2. Fox 2.
3 minutes remaining.
What's your stick? Shake him up!
Fire everything you've got. Don't even think about conserving ammo.
No!
Receiving support from ESM.
Let the LRSSC take care of the enemy aircraft.
Strider 1, missile away. Strider 1, Fox 2.
Trigger's knocked out a target. Target coordinates re-entered. Ready to fire. Roger. Waiting for my orders.
All ground targets destroyed.
This takes away the enemy's surface-to-ship capabilities. Fine work, Trigger.
You know, we aim to please here. More planes, huh? Trying to come for our boys.
Another enemy aircraft approaching our ship.
Quick,
right now!
2 minutes remaining.
They're not retreating. The submarine must be important to them.
Mark. Intercepted.
Chaff inflation completed.
Son of a bitch. Does this mission? We can't remember if this mission has to change.
Here we go. Do it with a
No,
bang.
it does not.
Understood.
It does not.
What's up? Friendly aircraft and EW aircraft will arrive 5 minutes late.
What?
Retreat and wait for backup.
Retreat not authorized. Gain air superiority at once. Trigger, what now?
Just for aircraft? Just talking nerves. Come on. It's time to find a real fighter pilot.
Trigger's already kicked off the game.
Oh yeah, that's generally a good idea.
There was a change in the HO. We need our hotshot within the last 5 minutes.
Come and get me!
Just gonna go ahead and keep dodging like a pro.
Locked on.
Bandit on me! Hold tight. Just a little longer till the friendlies arrive.
I'm hit!
This one's mine.
Missile hit.
I don't need no Wiseman to fly.
How's it going?
Then prove it, Count.
Righto.
And
Strider 1, missile launched.
Air combat's a lot harder without Wiseman.
You sure? Our man Trigger was an absolute monster just now.
Friendly hit! Red 50! On my target's rear, firing.
yeah, true.
Enemy has a lock.
Yeah, this is true standard
Number is
combat.
tougher than I thought.
Shut your trap and keep shooting.
Shit. Do it with a bang.
Look who we've got here. I'm planning on making passerby, but we're no pushovers. Yeehaw! Here we go, cowboys. Surround them! Get us from the side of the street. These guys are good. I'll pick one on the left and you pick one on the right. We're the last generation of fighter pilots. Shoot just what we can do.
It's not every day you're in a battle like this.
Come on, try me. Nobody's got more combat experience than we do.
Strider squad. Enemy aircraft
Yeah,
have
this
begun
is
their
bowling.
assault on the space.
Once again, we're back in the
Secure
bowling
air
phase.
superiority.
I know that, but we're outnumbered. Pushing back hard.
My calculus was working enough to be 3 strikes. One fly what you got for one last summer. That was a strike back, my brother.
I'm down quite a few, but haven't even made a dent.
Shut up. You see Trigger complaining?
Well, he doesn't talk much, but fine. Here I go.
You can try dodging, but you'll eventually mess it up. Yeah,
Yes, EW aircraft and Drake Squadron are here.
I didn't think you'd get her so quickly.
The
Yeah,
EW
you're here.
aircraft have strong ESM
just
on
gonna
board.
clear out most of the bad
Improve
ones.
your dogfighting capabilities by enhancing missile range, homing, and more.
Drake Squadron, follow me. I'll show you how the pros do it.
Copy that. Show us what you got.
I should have switched with Lanza.
Drake 1, engaging. Drake 3, engaging.
Got 3 strikes my sights, and it takes me out for one last moment of glory.
Drake 5, engaging. Drake 8, engaging.
Did someone say they can take us down? Adorable, where is he? Between
Take
7.
control of the entire airspace.
Which one of these men?
That bird over there flies pretty well. Didn't think pilots of that caliber were still around.
Enemy's got a lock.
Harder for dance with.
Okay, I quit. Not counting their numbers anymore.
Figure 1, 3 and 4, head to 305. Pistol attack. Figure 3, Wilco. Stand by side, I'll let you room with the plane.
Trigger, seeing advanced stealth fighters.
SG-57s hiding in planes. Stay on your toes if you engage them.
They got me. Bailing out.
Out here.
Pursuing enemy.
I would have been way too close if it wasn't for Trigger. Trigger shot down at SU-57.
Damn you, that was our youngest pilot. I see 3 strikes.
Now he's dead.
Go get him, buddy. I'll get him off. Not yet. I'll keep him hanging. Take him down.
Target is hit.
Are you sure? Damn sure. 3 strikes.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Come on, man.
Keep your distance from the REW aircraft. Roger.
Trigger splashed a hostile.
Good. The ESM's improving your aircraft's dogfighting capabilities.
Thanks, Trigger.
Shit, no, come on. People were talking about they're gonna take us down. Where are they? Where they at?
I'm gonna open this guy up.
Incoming missile. We're targeted.
Multiple
No
aircraft
idea how
approaching this
to-
airspace. They're Harriers.
Any moves to attack our fleet must be stopped.
All right.
Trust your aircraft.
Missile away. Receiving support from ESM.
Curse you, free strike!
I don't even have time for a snack on this operation.
You just wait. I'll get you a break in a second.
Thanks.
Enemy's got
My wingman says he saw 3 strikes. Damn it, I can't stop. Cover me. I got a lock.
We were like, we can take out that one SU. It's like, nah, we'll have to come back for it.
Pursuing enemy.
Strider 1, UAV deployed.
Target enemy aircraft.
Carrier destroyed. Nice work. Those fighters are after the fleet. Take care of the rest.
Boom!
Returning to base.
Well, actually, they will.
Don't bother reporting minor damages. If the landing ship makes it, we win. I get targeted the moment I try to cruise in on their ship. They're only human. They'll tire out soon enough. Don't fighting. Evacuate immediately.
Show you that.
Harrier 2s have all been destroyed. Good job. Great work.
Command duty officer. The approaching landing ship is to be considered hostile. Set it as your target.
Roger. Set primary target to hostile landing ship Puffin.
Our target is the captain of the Puffin, Robert Airy.
Captain.
You don't see it. Gunnery is about killing the people on board.
Detecting hostile barrage jamming.
That guy's
over
definitely
IW aircraft. I'm displaying the jammed area on your radars.
Yes! This is the air combat I've been waiting for.
Destroyed.
Missile's not homing in properly.
When in range of enemy jammers, missile lock-on and homing capabilities are reduced.
This is gonna be trouble.
We'll be fine, don't worry.
Strider 1, missile away.
We got a plan.
Free strike. You might learn a thing or two. Roger.
So just blow up the jam.
Past the 3rd checkpoint. We're halfway there. From Puffin to all ships. Change formation.
The party's
Full
just
speed
getting
ahead.
started.
Move in front of the landing ship Puffin. We're going to be their shield.
You see that? Splashed an enemy EW aircraft.
Target acquired.
Nice kill count. We'll go over that one during debriefing.
Righto.
All aircraft be advised. Enemy strike fighters are on the approach. They're fullbacks. Definitely faster than the ones before.
Pose a serious threat. Shake them down.
Righto. Trigger, let's get this done quick.
Strider 4, Box 2.
Roger
Fighting
that.
UAVs. It's just as hard on them as it is on us.
It's going at maximum overdrive. Why do we get so hyped?
Entering ESM range.
That sounds so stupid, but man, it's so hype. It's so fun.
Come at me, bro. Catch me if you can.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Another enemy aircraft approaching our ship. Mark, intercepting.
All enemy EW aircraft confirmed destroyed.
That's good news.
Seawind failed. Incoming.
The landing ship is under attack. Keep the enemy away from our ships.
Hard port. We can't trust the fleet fast. All personnel, abandon ship.
Look, another destroyer's in sight.
That's it. Trigger splashed a fighter.
Nearly going through sight. Shit, that's bad news. Either lost EW aircraft or how 3 strikes is with us. Got a visual on the target submarine. Here. You see this size of that stuff? Why the hell was it not in action all this time?
Strider 1, UAV deployed.
I see 3 strikes.
All aircraft be advised. 2 bogies on the approach. Aircraft type, Su-47.
Burkitts. She doesn't have many of those. Where'd they come from?
Enraged? Can I kill him now? I've waited long enough. Use the confusion to kill this 6. Like a true villain, huh? I like the way you think. Stand on my tail. Taking fire.
Boom! Well, that's all the SUs down, so now... Where are you?
Don't call me an idiot. I'd kill you if you weren't my brother.
Let's try taking out
Bogey
this.
shot down an Erusian bird.
What do you mean?
Pull up.
There are no more reinforcements. They must be hostile. You are clear to engage. Don't hesitate.
Get him. I'm gonna screw you up so bad.
Who are these guys?
They're neither Ocean nor Erusian. They're just filthy bats.
Hostiles just popped out of nowhere.
Missile.
It's an ECM, type of saturation decoy.
Missile.
Visually scan for the source.
Missile.
Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile.
Gotta get him here in now.
Yeah, we want you.
Missile.
Missile is closing. Strider 1, break.
Missile.
It didn't hit.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 1, target acquired.
I'll take him down before you can figure out what I'm planning.
Missile. Missile.
I'm spiked.
Missile.
It's after me.
Hang in there, Scream. They're coordinating their attacks. Stay sharp, Trigger. Don't worry. Trigger's keeping tabs. Trigger hit the target.
Good, you're seeing right through their illusions.
Missile.
Hit me, dude. The bastard hit me.
Return the favor. Kill that 3 strikes.
I'll kill Murray.
Trigger's already adapted to the situation.
Eyeball warning. Icing.
Careful, ice is formed in your plane.
All right, Scream. Keep them hanging. Trigger's missile is coming in. Shit. Scream, we're pulling out. We can't take down 3 strikes with damaged planes.
God damn it.
Later, suckers!
I will have you. You will die.
What? Am I hearing things?
Stay away.
Hey, those filthy bats are on the run. Let them go. Secure air superiority and protect your allies. Negative.
Wilco.
That's what I like to see.
Additional hostiles confirmed. We're detecting surface-to-ship weapons teams around the sub. Eliminate them.
Our rings are thinning.
At last, the light at the end of the tunnel. Continue with your mission.
Well, now it's just a nice, simple
Entering
thing.
ESM range.
With no
All
missiles.
ground targets destroyed.
This takes away the enemy's surface-to-ship capabilities. Fine work, Trigger.
3 minutes remaining.
Enemy has the lock.
Thankfully, we constantly getting respawned 2 missiles, but that's sucked a little bit.
We got this. 3 strikes in a squadron are with us.
Missile away. You're out of missiles.
No!
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Everyone bites the dust. It's as simple as, ladies and gentlemen, it truly is as
Missile
simple as
launched.
that.
Be advised, enemy aircraft nearing the landing ship.
Stay in formation.
And...
Enemy missile detonated in water on the port side. Thank God. A friendly shot down the Su-34 approaching fleet. We owe you one.
Captain, they're ready for kickoff, sir. They're prepared to sacrifice their lives to carry the cargo. Beautiful. Captain, don't lose me. Bombs are about to be snuffed out in this quality. How many must be sacrificed to fulfill the rest?
Captain, it's 3 strikes to the crew. They've tied down the enemy bird. Our men just might make it through.
Capture's charged. Great.
Target in sight. Main gun, manned and ready.
We can destroy the landing ship. We can sink their planes along with it. They're after me. I need cover. Locked on bandit.
Missile.
Strider 1, locked on target.
Bandit is down.
I have to break.
Missile.
Lock 2.
Missile. Ammunition 0.
I've got this one failed.
They're not retreating. Submarine must be spoiled to them. Thanks. I think you had my back, Trigger.
they're all dead. We shouldn't do something so stupid.
So many of our fighters. Alicorn, do you copy? We cannot stop the approaching enemy landing ship. Scuttle and Assad immediately. Fools.
Yeah, no.
As of now, this boat no longer belongs to the Erusian military. What do you say? Don't you see?
Let the LRSSC take care of the enemy aircraft.
We probably could have made it too. Holy shit.
Puffin, this is Longcaster. Enemy's resistance is dwindling and we've almost secured air superiority.
Almost.
Copy. Commencing capture operation.
The rest is all yours, Captain. Now I can finally have my sausage rolls.
That's the kind of food you eat up there?
Of course, anything other than finger food will get in the way of my duties.
That clearly wasn't what she meant. Took longer than I expected. I'll be leaving now. You take command from here on. Whew. Well done, pilot. Then slow ahead both engines.
Are you sure? Landing ship Puffin to all active units. Enemy submarine has started moving.
Commence firing. Main guns, commence fire.
Bearing 180, cruising at 5 knots. Movement on the deck. It's their aircraft.
Alicorn fired on her with the railgun. The landing ship's on fire. It's gonna sink.
Confirming launch of submarine-based aircraft. 4 bird. It appears one of them is carrying a cruise missile.
What? What in the world? What happened? Listen up. You need to take that bird down. Hurry!
You're lucky, Alicorn. You're lucky.
The cruise missile is a WMD. Shit! Hey, what about the submarine?
We've got to help our ship first.
Don't lose them. Shoot them down. Shit! Open vents. Fill all ballast tanks. Full speed ahead once we're underway.
Trigger's caught up to them.
Scrap them, Trigger.
Enemy submarine is going under.
Shit! That monster will roam the oceans. Heed my words.
20,000 meters until the aircraft exits the AO.
This world is to end this hideous war in a definitive manner against war. This is not a conflict of destruction, judgment.
There's a lot of missiles, so we gotta just machine gun fire.
And it will be done with the reason from beginning to end. The world shall be horrified by the number of lives we will take. Then will they let go of their weapons? It would have taken the lives of 10 million.
Across the radio.
10,000 meters until the aircraft exits the AO. Headed down.
Beating us.
Shields, crazy.
Double time and Trigger. You're the faster pilot. Yeah.
Got it.
Target's destruction confirmed.
Almost got out too, huh?
Seems he was down by 3 strikes. The damn bastard ruined it. Captain, don't you see? He walked all over it with his dirty boots, over the crisp white sheets of my bed that I had just made. Let's have him assist in the next plan. It'll make a fine sideshow for our scheme to kill 1 million people. Or was it the plan to save 10 million lives, Command Duty Officer?
Well, that's a bit spooky.
Here we go.
Man, that was tense though. No missiles and have to blow it up right as it gets to the end of the screen. Oh.
The operation has been completed. Stand by for further orders.
Hold on. We still don't know who those bats were. Why were they after Trigger? They were using Osia's radio frequency. You mean they're on our side?
Impossible. They didn't respond to our IFF. Or maybe they were there to settle a personal score. There's nothing unusual about being shot in the back by an ally.
Guess it might have been that way where we came from, but you know what I'm saying, Trigger?
What?
Everyone, here's a question.
That's enough. Remove him from the call.
Wait, don't hang up on me yet. How did they know that we had intelligence on their weapons of mass destruction? They never would have taken such actions if they didn't know.
They have a spy.
Better to be suspicious than not, I suppose.
At the very least, we'll have to assume from here on out that they know everything that we do.
Man, a lot of planes die.
Another question, Alex. Captain Mateus Torres, the captain of the Alicorn. What is his goal?
There are 21 likely targets. The number of main routes
Wrong.
to the targets is 2,405.
You're being too logical.
Want me to define main?
Alex, can you be more sensory?
What do you mean?
Make me a collage of Torres's quotes. Work freely. Keep my hypothesis in mind.
Life taken by cheap kills of forward projectional sea power.
Oh,
no good.
All right, and by
Alex.
I guess people would say it was a lot.
All right, let's go on. Try to be a little more sensuous.
Monstrous, 16,752. And salvation of passivity.
Okay.
Vulgarity of 6 per minute. A forward security.
Good.
Will of nuclear retaliation on death. 160 millimeter guidance where massacre is placed by mass planning.
More logically.
Salvation of 10 million. An elegant massacre upon the Cage continents.
Stop. That's correct, or is it?
All right, we'll do this one because this one honestly pisses off when we first played on hard because it is brutal, especially like right near the end. No checkpoints on this one either. The next one, the last mission does have checkpoints, thankfully.
David, I've built a model of Captain Torres and 3 strikes, based on your hypothesis and mission parameters
from the past. I ran a precision combat simulation.
Who are the other pieces then?
But it failed.
Bummer. Why didn't it work?
Reasons in sensuous order are: 1. Your hypothesis is trash. 2. The parameters you gave me are trash.
Did I do something to tick you off?
3. Captain Torres is a singularity.
So the values diverge. But what about this one? 4. 3 strikes is a singularity.
That's outside the confidence interval. The possibility that it's 1, 2, or 3 is 99%.
What?
Significance is high.
Try this. This is 3 strikes data before he's assigned to the LRSSG.
Ah man, in a couple hours we gotta do a quiz in early world history. I think that's all we have to do today. It turns out this was the week. Technically, this week and kind of last week was when we had the most schoolwork to do, but it was the most, but very quick. So we got done like a couple hours, and this shouldn't take us that long. That's all we have to do, right? Because everything else should be.
The Illusion
13th
military is
and,
gathering
16th.
its remaining naval forces at Anchorhead Bay. Apparently, they're even bringing in ships from the Mothball fleet. This is probably to reinforce their naval power in preparation for the showdown in Farbanti. We've received intel that the Alicorn will also be joining them.
From which source, Brigadier General? There's a possibility the Alicorn's former crew have been tasked with sabotage.
Your job is to analyze the enemy's weaponry. From now on, speak only when off. I don't...
May I be authorized first, sir?
When we're done, I'll be talking to your superiors. LRSSG is to raid Anchorhead, Carry out airstrikes on Anchor Bay
I
to the
mean,
north.
yo, you did
and
your
Knockout
orders
Bay
not
to
to
the south,
talk, though.
inflicting
Just
all
saying.
possible damage. If we can strip the port of its naval functions, we can also prevent the submarine from joining forces.
The area around Anchorhead is Erusian territory. To delay hostile detection, you will sortie in small numbers and make your way in at super low altitudes.
Small sorting. Who's going?
Count, Lanza, Husian, and Trigger. 4 aircraft from Strider Squadron will be deployed.
Well, all right, I got this.
To cover our lack of numbers, we're giving you plenty of opportunities to resupply. Look here. We've set up multiple
yeah.
return lines. Make full use of them to resupply and change armaments. Also note that the enemy will not be able to mount a defense immediately after detecting them. Use this window to destroy high-threat targets. That should make things much easier for you.
It should also raise the survival rate.
Survival rate, huh?
The element of surprise and resupplying are the key. Beyond that, I just need a couple of pilots who will stick to my orders. We don't need an ace to succeed. Got anything to say? Good.
Brigadier General.
That is all.
David, go on.
Let me share the career of Mateus Torres, captain of the submarine Alicorn. Does anyone know how his people hailed him?
A bit unfair to provide us with next to no healing.
Fair enough. The hero of Cumberth Harbor is the answer. He was a captain of the battleship Aegir at the time of the Continental War. It led Aegir fleet, the Invincible
that
Armada.
might have been zero.
When the fleet
wasn't
was destroyed at Cumberth Harbor, so was his ship.
He's the hero?
He was able to bring most of his crew home with accurate damage control.
it? Also, we feel like
precise
mini ace
evacuation
games are like
orders.
different scenarios from the
Then
same,
there's
from
the
like a
accident with the Alicorn.
similar war.
Many believe that if they stay with him, they'll live. Transfer from surface to underwater is unusual. However, considering his skill and reputation, along with the fact that the Alicorn is no ordinary submarine, it all makes sense.
It'll be a difficult mission to carry out with 4 aircraft. Still, I'd like to add one more to the mission conditions.
What, you want to make it even harder?
I want a 100% survival rate for the sortie. Any other number and the mission will be considered a failure.
After this, we're gonna have to go to the bathroom. After this mission, we are genuinely done. We'll do this and then that. Just because this mission is so hard, maybe with the UAV, maybe. Most of the problem is the first area. There's so many boats, so by the time we finish them, every other place is geared up, ready to fight. But now with the UAVs, we know they can take out ships really fast. We'll have to deal with Aegisuses, but they can deal with like everything else. Pretty much destroyers and cruisers are what we should be using the UAVs on. I just kind of wonder, when they kill something, where do they go? Or is that just how long it takes to reload?
I can almost touch the water.
Altitude restriction lifted. Begin up.
The food at this party served buffet style. Pick whatever dish you like before the host mounts a resistance.
Luco, I'll eat their hearts out.
Sorry, Trigger, but the juicy targets are all mine.
Emergency! 4 bogeys! ETA 2 minutes!
They're already here.
Target acquired.
How are they? So, which one looks the hardest to chew? Enemy aircraft flying north of the harbor.
That's not a boat. We're like, hey, where's the boat target? Only to us. Wait.
Gobble up all the high-value targets. Forget about your manners.
Never had any of those to begin with.
Had to stay behind last time. This is gonna be a walk in the park. It's a good warm-up to get back in the game.
Brigadier General Clemens, about 3 strikes. You sure we'll get a positive result this time?
Yes, Lieutenant General Shepard. Operation Dominoes is going as planned. What are you doing, Trigger? Give them all the special weaponry you've got. Don't be shy. Locked on, Bandit.
Fox 2, Fox 2.
Whoa, it's a ruckus down there.
Stall warning.
Damage report. Where are we getting hit?
Everywhere.
Switch to anti-air weaponry!
It's launched.
We let them go, they'll be on our asses
Resistance from enemy air defenses confirmed. You're on 9 and just don't pay for it.
Righto. Begin firing Sam.
Yeah, because destroyers only take 2 shots.
Now's time for a counterstrike.
Or 4 shots. 3 shots, even. Okay.
A bomb would work fine. You'll wipe them out with one hit.
Fox 2.
Counterattack, no!
Enemy has a lock on you.
How many are there? Like 1,000 enemies against the 4 of us? Probably need to multiply that by 10. That's fine by me.
Sir, there's a few of them. They've done damage to the fort and ship.
Fox 2.
Command won't accept this report. Do whatever it takes to shoot them down.
Trigger, get on the return line if you need to. There's no need to wait until you've emptied your weapons bag. 30% of observed enemy forces destroyed.
Great. Keep it up.
We ain't done eating yet. Ain't that right, Trigger? Back to your station. Why does the enemy take us from the ammunition? Drop a bomb blind and hit something. Prioritize high-threat targets and close the hostiles. Be generous with your special weaponry as well. Trigger, missile incoming!
If we can get him here, we'll be able to save a lot of boys in Vermonti.
Okay. Should have brought anti-ship missiles.
Strider 1, UAV away.
Target has been destroyed.
Kelly, 3 bandits and 2 bombs.
Trigger, push your mark on the damaged aircraft. Get on the return line if you need to.
You're in their sight, Strider 1.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
21%.
Target destroyed.
Half of the anti-air guns destroyed.
They're gone. That means we have less than half our forces left.
Half our ships have either been sunk or stalled. Somebody do something about those bastards up there. Target destroyed. Trigger, missile inbound. How many ships in port are still
Your fleet is beauty. Boy.
scrap metal at this rate? General Shepard, we have a status report. 50% of the enemy forces have been neutralized. Just an operation that doesn't rely on our ace pilots. We won't have many on board. You can convince them that we don't need 3 strikes. Yes, sir. Don't let your guard down, guys. 100% survival rate. Let's go. This is Tucker 04, requesting airstrike on the helicopter carrying our target. Target is Vice Chief of Naval Ops, Rear Admiral Samuel Quinn, sending coordinates.
Are you so sure, huh?
All aircraft, we need to link the intel we received from our recon team. If you have a visual on the target, shoot it down.
No idea
Their
if it's
defense
dead now.
system has been destroyed.
Yeah, Trigger took care of the pricks. Alright, wiped out most of their forces in the urban area.
Still see some ships moving. Trigger, let's go for those.
There's no need to go through the whole menu. Focus on the juicier targets.
Roger that. Here we go, Trigger. Target confirmed down. Samuel Quinn gone. Illusion's naval stratagem will lose its edge.
What? Oh, we're just blowing up something. That important thing?
Target in gun range.
Survive, did you? We'll have to change that fact.
I'm hearing nothing but trees all around.
Attack hit on Aegis vessel Keto. Ship destroyed.
You've got a big game hunter.
Can't resist hogging the spotlight. Dibs on the next one.
Strider 1 is down.
Really slammed it. That's fine, because that was not really that good.
Altitude restriction lifted. Begin up.
The food at this party served buffet style. Pick whatever dish you like before the host mounts a resistance.
Luco, I'll eat their hearts out.
Sorry, Trigger. The juicy targets are all mine.
Emergency! 4 bogeys! ETA 2 minutes!
Nice, Trigger. There's no enemy movement yet.
Gobble up all the high-value targets. Forget about your manners.
Never had any of those to begin with.
Had to stay behind last time. This is gonna be a walk in the park. It's a good warm-up to get back in the game. Brigadier General Clemens, about 3 strikes. You sure we'll get a positive result
Welcome back to the calls, friend.
Yes, Lieutenant General Shepard. Operation Dominoes is going as planned.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Kaboom!
That's
all I'm
This will make things easier later. Resistance from enemy air defense is confirmed. Keep on guiding. Just don't pay for it.
Righto.
Begin firing Sam! They think they've already won. Now's our chance. Now time for a counter.
We'll be right back.
I should have brought my air-to-ground missiles.
A bomb would work fine. You'll wipe them out with one hit.
That's all those did.
Strider 1, lock on target.
Stand check.
Back to your station. Get the radar up and running. Sir, there's a few of them. They've done damage to the port and
Boom! And the battlefields are
If
fall.
you need to. There's no need to wait until you've emptied your weapons bag.
If we can get him here, we'll be able to save a lot of boys in Farvanti.
Okay.
Have our ships stalled. Somebody do something about those bastards up there.
Trigger, don't push your luck on a damaged aircraft. Get on the return line if you need to. It's launched.
How many are there?
Woohoo!
1,000 enemies against the 4 of us? We probably need to multiply that by 2. That's fine by me.
Why does the enemy take so little damage? We're on the wrong line to get something.
Strider 1 is down.
No idea what happened to our speed. It just genuinely stopped happening.
I can almost touch the water.
Altitude restriction lifted. Begin up.
The food at this party served buffet style. Pick whatever dish you like before the host mounts a resistance.
Wilco, I'll need their hearts out.
Sorry, Trigger, but the juicy targets are all mine.
As the officer, she usually triggers slam head first into an Acus, and she's like, don't worry, got a
I
plan.
can almost touch the water.
Altitude restriction lifted. Begin up.
The food at this party served buffet style. Pick whatever dish you like before the host mounts a resistance.
Wilco, I'll need their hearts out.
Oh, that's brief.
Sorry, Trigger, but the juicy targets are all mine.
Emergency!
We don't need that.
ETA 2 minutes!
Nice, Trigger. There's no enemy movement yet.
Gobble up all the high-value targets. Forget about your manners.
Never had any of those to begin with.
Had to stay behind last time. This is gonna be a walk in the park. Warm up to get back in the game.
Inactivated.
Brigadier General, about 3 strikes. Sure, we'll get a result this. General Shepard, Operation Dominoes is going as planned.
Positive result. Right there.
They're lined up nicely. Well, not so.
A lot of AAs, legitimately a lot of AAs.
We've already won. Now's our chance.
What happened to that? Why there's like 20 AAs showing
Should
around
have brought
here?
my air-to-ground missiles.
A bomb would work fine. You'll wipe them out with one hit. Sir, there's a few of them. They've done damage to the port and
Ow, 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 stop.
30% of observed enemy forces destroyed.
Great. Keep it up.
We ain't done eating yet. Ain't that right, Trigger?
Trigger, don't push your luck on a damaged aircraft. Get on the return line if you need to.
If we can get him here, we'll be able to save a lot of boys in Farvanti.
Okay.
How many ships in port are still operational? Kids was just damaged, but likely left the half. Ludicrous. They'll fill the port with scrap metal at this rate.
Trigger, get on the return line if you need to. There's no need to wait until you empty your weapons bag.
This battle cruiser falls.
They're gone. That means we have less than half our forces left.
about those bastards up there.
Another attack run.
Why is the enemy taking so much damage? Drop them offline and hit something.
Prioritize high-threat targets and groups of hostiles.
Target eliminated.
Be generous with your special weaponry as well.
Incoming enemy aircraft. Lieutenant General Shepard, we have a status report. 50% of the enemy forces have been neutralized.
That's mostly the work of 3 strikes. Suggest this operation that doesn't rely on our ace pilots. We won't have many on board, unless you can convince them that we don't need 3 strikes.
Taking out quite a few of them, but
sir.
there's still some left.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Have you finished reloading yet?
Boom. Whoa, he's moved 3 strikes for everything.
Radio chatter in that area has quieted down. Try a different location, Trigger. It looks like there are delicacies on other tables as well.
Lanza has the southern port to the south. Don't think he can go it alone.
Trigger, let's go.
Flags from up here, you know.
This is Tucker 04, requesting airstrike on the helicopter carrying our target. Target is Vice Chief of Naval Ops, Rear Admiral Samuel Prin, sending coordinates.
Our equipment's still operational, but no one...
All aircraft, we've data linked the intel we've received from our recon team. If you have a visual on the target, shoot it down. All hostile ships in the vicinity have been destroyed.
Awesome. Keep it up, Trigger.
Target confirmed down. With Samuel Prin gone, Arusha's naval stratagem will lose its edge.
All right. We've wiped out most of their forces in the urban area.
I still see some ships moving. Trigger, let's go for those.
There's no need to go through the whole menu. Focus on the juicier targets.
Roger that. Here we
Come
go,
back for a quick repair and some rearming.
Strider 1, this is Control Tower. Make your landing check.
Hopefully this doesn't count the time, otherwise this would be the
Too
worst
fast.
thing ever.
Lower airspeed.
We've never actually done this in a mission.
Bank right. Lower your nose. You're too high. Raise your nose. You're too low.
Too low, too high. Make up your mind, man. Taste. And rearm us, baby. It is also nice that you could change out whatever gear you're having.
Strider 1, this is Control Tower. The runway is clear.
Alright. Later, boys. Catch y'all on the flip side.
This is Shepard. Seems 3 Strikes is showing a stellar performance. Osea has much need of him. That is the unanimous conclusion of those in this room, Brigadier General. Certainly not the result I predicted. I'm sorry, sir. Keep your eyes on the sky. Ignore ground activity.
Don't let your guard down, guys. 100% survival rate. Let's go.
Heavy return fire.
Yeah, we're all going home together.
Came in for a picnic and found ourselves in America.
I thought you said this was going to be a walk in the park.
You take walks to, well, walk. But a picnic, you have to eat.
You don't have to tell me which you prefer. There's a shipyard over there.
This port is home to multiple enemy fleets. Probably too much for Lanza's poor stomach.
Damn straight. Trigger, count. Lend me a hand, will ya?
Strider 1 is
Son
crashed.
of a bitch. There was no checkpoint we came back
almost
in,
touch
was
the
there?
water.
Nope.
Altitude restriction lifted.
Oh!
The food at this party served buffet style. Pick whatever dish you like before the host mounts a resistance.
Wilco, I'll eat their hearts out.
Sorry, Trigger. The juicy targets are all mine.
Launched.
Emergency! 4 bogeys! ETA 2 minutes!
This is Trigger. There's no enemy movement yet.
Gobble up all the high-value targets. Forget about your manners.
You never had any of those to begin with.
Had to stay behind last time. This is gonna be a walk in the park. It's a good warm-up to get back in the game.
Brigadier General Clemens, about 3 strikes. You sure we'll get a positive result this time?
Yes, Lieutenant General Shepard. Operation Dominoes is going as planned.
Target is hit. AA defense system was destroyed before it was activated. This'll make things easier later.
If we let them go, they'll be on our asses later. Don't hold back.
Enemy passing right above us! I see 3 strikes on it!
Everyone on deck, back to your station. Get the radar up and running.
Resistance from enemy air defense is confirmed. Keep on guiding. Just don't pay for it.
Righto.
Begin firing SAMs! There's nowhere to launch. They think they've already won. Now's our chance. Now time
Get.
for a counterstrike.
Should have brought my air-to-ground missiles.
A bomb would work fine. You'll wipe them out with one hit.
Attack hit on Aegis vessel Kido. Ship destroyed.
We've got a big game hunter.
Can't resist hogging the spotlight. Dibs on the next one.
Boom.
Sir, there's a few of them. We've done damage to the port and ship.
Command will accept this report.
The cruiser. There was awakens, and then we blew it up.
Destroyed.
Great. Keep it up.
We ain't done eating yet. Ain't that right, Trigger?
Trigger, don't push your luck on a damaged aircraft. Get on the return line if you need to.
Go. And the battle cruiser song. Yeah.
How many are there? Like 1,000 enemies against the 4 of us? You probably need to multiply that by 10. That's fine by me.
It's launched.
One contact with the second platoon. Now, Con, that means we have less than half our forces left. How many ships in port are still operational?
Damage, but likely less than half.
Chris, don't fill the port with scrap metal at this rate.
Trigger, get on the return line if you need to. There's no need to wait until you've emptied your weapons bay.
General Shepard, we have a status report. 50% of the enemy forces have been neutralized.
Mostly the work of 3 strikes. Just this operation that doesn't rely on our ace pilot. Many on board.
Man, imagine that. As one plane comes in and starts destroying your entire enemy fleet. It's just
I'm actually getting used to
bullying.
flying like Trigger.
Taking out our radar and FCS. Have no way of firing back.
Don't let your guard down, guys. 100% survival rate. Let's go.
Yeah, we're all going home together. Strider 4, Fox 2. Low altitude approaches from onshore are difficult.
All hostile ships in the vicinity have been destroyed.
Awesome. Keep it up, Trigger.
Trigger has destroyed the target.
Radio chatter in that area has quieted down. Try a different location, Trigger. It looks like there are delicacies on other tables as well.
Rosa has the southern port to himself. Don't think he can go it alone.
Trigger, let's go.
This is Tucker 04, requesting airstrike on the helicopter carrying our target. Target is Vice Chief of Naval Ops, Rear Admiral Samuel Prin, sending coordinates.
All aircraft, we've data linked the intel we received from our
Good.
recon team. If you have a visual on the target, shoot it down.
Yeah, we don't really need it.
Firm down.
We're pretty good.
Samuel Prin gone, Arusia's naval stratagem will lose its edge. This is Shepard. Seems 3 strikes is showing a stellar performance. Osea has much need of him. That is the unanimous conclusion of those in this room, Brigadier General. Certainly not the result I predicted.
I'm sorry, sir. All right. We wiped out most of their forces in the urban area.
Ships moving. Let's go for those.
There's no need to go through the whole menu. Focus on the juicier targets.
Roger that. Here we go, Trigger. Came in for a picnic and found ourselves in a marathon.
Yeah, we don't really need to blow up those container boxes anymore. They don't hold anything, but it's pretty cool to blow them up.
Walk, but a picnic, you have to eat.
You don't have to tell me which you prefer. It's a shipyard over there.
This port is home to multiple enemy fleets. Probably too much for Lance's poor stomach.
Damn straight. Trigger, count. Let me a hand, will ya? That's a lot of ships lost. We're gonna make a fortune once the war's over. Why stock in salvage
forces.
Did someone say buy stock in the salvage companies while you can? That's a true lad right there.
Lock on you.
Locked on. This one's a goner.
4 MiG-31s approaching. They're fast. These guys are interceptors. Bearing 310, altitude 2000.
Yeah, no, we gotta come. Hold
Strutter 1, missile launched.
That aircraft emitted all that anti-air fire? You're kidding me!
Targeting gun range.
Missile closing! On your shipyard is a blazing inferno!
Strutter 1, missile launched.
Damn it! We're on reinforcement! We are the reinforcements!
That is the scariest thing.
Bandits coming from the northwest. In large numbers. 8 Su-37s.
Starfighter thinks we get super low altitude from bearing 015. We have a report that 3 strikes is among them. We have no further intel. Sorry, we couldn't protect the port.
Ask Squadron, Eagle Squadron, clear to engage.
This is Tucker 04 requesting airstrike. Sending coordinates.
Already bought us time. I'm gonna go in on 3 strikes. 4-2, stay with me. Roger that.
Come on, man. Come on.
Enemy behind you. Strider 2, Fox 2. Trigger, missile inbound.
Strutter 1, locked on target.
Good.
Bandit down. Hostile ships approaching from the southeast. It's a large fleet with Aegis Vessel Metas and battleship Dysnomia numbering among them.
To fight a pristine fleet after all that?
Let's do this. Enemies got the CIC. Multiple smoke plumes from the port.
If it weren't for the bad weather, we would have been caught there. Prepare for anti-air combat.
Mortar drone has reached the target.
Captain, we're starting the guided artillery fire drill.
Command to the officer. What do you think will turn a drill into a real war? You don't see it, do you?
It's imagination.
Use your imagination, my fellow submariners. A single shell will save 10 million lives.
Alright, what is
Ready
this?
for anti-air combat. Anti-air combat. You're gonna regret not bringing more good flavor. I don't need any missiles to find time.
Serious?
Maintain course if you want to go back to resupply. UAV deployed.
Target confirmed down. That was Fleet Commander Gleb Almazov on board. It's gonna take a long time to rebuild the fleet without him.
Just blowing up randomly after that.
Enemies will lock on you.
Who is this guy?
Missile is closing. Strider 1, break. Strider 1, UAV away.
Bandit on your 6, watch it.
Jazz and flares deployed.
Wait, we're out of
Additional
flares.
UAVs on radar.
Pretty shabby for a reinforcement.
Stay sharp. There's something amiss.
Fire and smoke rising from Anchor Bay and Touchdown Bay.
Evading! Hostile behind me.
Fox 2. Warning, incoming high-speed projectile.
Projectile? The terminal guidance. Get away from that UAV.
What do you mean? Contact imminent.
Salvation.
Impact at the UAV's coordinates.
Shit, I'm hit.
What? What happened?
More on the way.
What in the world?
You alright?
Fire incoming. Distance 50,000. It's adjusting its course.
Trigger, get away from it.
Contact imminent.
Trigger, you hanging in there?
Picture it. Salvation. The death of a million is a necessity.
Analysis shows the projectile was a railgun shell. We're currently determining the launch site.
They're shooting from beyond the horizon. That's why they need the UAV for terminal guidance.
We'll data link the predicted explosion radius from now on.
Damn it. You're telling me to leave my teammates behind.
Illusion, head back. I want that 100% survival rate.
Roger that. I'm counting on you.
Trigger, enemy has a lock on you.
I have to go behind the line here in a second.
You want a piece of me? You got it.
UAV deployed. Missile launched.
Trigger just sank the battleship. Battleship is Nomi as crippled. Navigation is disabled. Strider 1's down.
What hit us? What hit us that could have done over 60 damage a pop?
I can almost touch the water.
That is insanity. What even?
Altitude restriction lifted. Begin up.
Genuinely, we just got
Party
slapped
served
by a
buffet style.
mass.
Pick whatever
Okay.
dish you like before the host mounts a resistance.
That's annoying, because now we have to do it all over again. 15
Sorry,
minutes
Trigger,
worth.
but the
But
juicy targets are all mine.
that's what always happens. Like near the end, we just get slapped with something. What happened? We were like flying 12 seconds ago.
Nice,
What
Trigger.
happened?
There's no enemy movement yet.
Gobble up all the high-value targets. Forget about your manners.
Never had any of those to begin with.
Had to stay behind last time. This is gonna be a walk in the park. It's a good warm-up to get back in the game.
AA defense system was destroyed before it was activated. This'll make things easier later.
Lieutenant General Clemens, about 3 strikes. You sure we'll get a positive result this time? Yes, Lieutenant General Shepard. Operation Dominoes is going as planned.
Strider 1, UAV away.
Damage report.
Target's been wiped out.
Lost cops with Aegis vessel Keto.
Shit. We let this go to be on our asses later.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
What's the anti-air weaponry?
Resistance from enemy air defense is confirmed. Keep on diving. Just don't pay for it.
Righto. Begin firing SAMs. Fools. They think they've already won. Now's our chance. Now time for a counterstrike. I should have brought my air-to-ground missiles.
A bomb would work fine. Light them out before it hit.
Strider 1.
We want to believe that the guy who said not time for a counter-strike was the guy we just blew up. We want to believe it was that.
You probably need to multiply that by 10. That's fine by me.
Target acquired.
Clear out the port immediately. We're getting docked. Locked on. There aren't that many. Aim
Where's
carefully and bring them down.
Hut!
If we could get him here, we'll be able to see a lot of boys in Travanti.
Okay. Fire all guns as soon as they're ready. Unonia. The order is to abandon ship. Anti-air combat preparations. Receiving report.
Sir, there's a few of them. But they've done damage to the fort and ship.
Command will accept this report. Do whatever it takes to shoot them down.
Trigger, get on the return line if you need to. There's no need to wait until you've emptied your weapons bay.
Have our ships be going. We're stalled. Somebody do something about those bastards up there. Why is the enemy taking so little damage? You drop a bomb blind and hit something. Prioritize high-threat targets and groups of hostiles. Be generous with your special weaponry as well.
What do you mean so little damage? Most enemies out here are dead.
Locked on, you're mine.
Target destroyed.
Boom!
Getting shot from all directions.
Strider 1, missile launched. UAV deployed.
Lieutenant General Shepard,
What does it
have a
mean,
status
little
report.
man?
50% of the enemy forces have been neutralized. Getting used to flying like trigger to work in 3 strikes. Defensive operations don't rely on our ace pilot. You won't have many on board unless you can convince them that we don't need 3 strikes. Crew destroyed. Yes, sir.
Trigger, don't push your luck on a damaged aircraft. Get on the return line if you need to.
How many ships in port are still operational? Interest has damage by the strike close to half. Ludicrous. They'll fill the port with scrap metal at this rate.
All hostile ships in the vicinity have been destroyed.
Awesome. Keep it up, Trigger.
30% of observed enemy forces destroyed.
Great. Keep it up.
We ain't done eating yet. Ain't that right, Trigger?
Half of the anti-air guns destroyed.
From onshore are difficult.
This is
Tucker 04, requesting airstrike on the helicopter carrying our target. Target is Vice Chief of Naval Ops, Rear Admiral Samuel Prinn, sending coordinates.
All aircraft, we've data linked the intel we received from our recon team. If you have a visual on the target, shoot it down.
This is about to be very unfair for you.
We gotta shoot at him to shut him up.
Don't let your guard down, guys. 100% survival rate. Let's go.
Goodbye.
Yeah, we're all going home together.
Target confirmed down. Samuel Prinn gone. Narusha's naval stratagem will lose its edge. Taking out quite a few of them, but there's still some left.
Well, ultimate Maximus.
Squad contact with the second A2. If they're gone, that means we have less than half our forces left. This is Shepard. Seems 3 strikes is showing a stellar performance. Osea has much needed here. That is the unanimous conclusion of those in this room, Brigadier General. Certainly not the result I predicted. I'm sorry, sir.
You chatter in that area has quieted down. Try a different location, Trigger. It looks like there are delicacies on other tables as well.
Lanza has the southern port to himself. Don't think he can go it alone.
Trigger, let's go. Came in for a picnic, found ourselves in a marathon. I thought you said this was going to be a walk in the park?
You take walks to, well, walk. With a picnic, you have to eat.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me which you prefer. It's a shipyard over there.
This port is home to multiple enemy fleets. Probably too much for Lanza's poor stomach.
Damn straight. Trigger, count. Lend me a hand, will you?
4 MiG-31's approaching. They're fast. These guys are interceptors. Bearing 310, altitude 2000.
This is Cerrone. We'll buy time until our rear catches up. Stay back. You're not equipped for air-to-air. We still got machine guns. Engaging. That's a lot of ships lost. You're gonna make a fortune once the war's over. Buy stock in salvage companies while you can.
Confirming
Again,
additional
that's a
hostile
smart
ground
guy.
forces.
Well, we may all die here, but if we don't, we know who to invest.
Shaking up enemy lock. I don't need any missiles in my time.
That MiG-31's not firing any missiles.
They must have scrambled without changing weaponry.
Unable to fire missiles. I know how that feels. That's no reason to go easy on you.
Lost control. Returning to base. I'm right about you. You always have aircraft problems when 3 strikes is around. No, I have lost control.
Missile away. Bandits coming from the northwest. They're in large numbers. 8 Su-37s.
Warfighter thinks we can prove below altitude from bearing 015. The captain reports that 3 strikes is among them. The captain for their intel. Sorry, you strike forward.
Leave the rest to us. Alpha Squadron, EO Squadron, clear to engage.
This is Tucker 04 requesting airstrike. Sending coordinates. Target confirmed down. The man you just killed, Captain Dirk Tarnak, was the main reason why the cruiser Inyo was deemed such a threat.
Only bonus time. Don't waste it.
All aircraft, your performance is disappointing. Pick it up. The attack will fail.
Follow me. We're the ones who take the kill.
Maintain course to return for resupply.
Hold on, we'll be right back.
Strider 1,
Disappointing
this is
though.
Control
Come
Tower.
on, man, we got like
Make
7
your
minutes to
landing
make
check.
up less than 1,000 points. Or actually, yeah, 10,000 points.
Too fast. Lower airspeed.
Yeah, just keep it. Yeah, keep what we got. Take off.
Strider 1, this is Control.
Let's give it gives back in.
Hostile ships approaching from the southeast. It's a large fleet with Aegis vessel Metis and battleship Dysnomia numbering among them.
After all that?
Let's do this.
Bridge to CIC. Multiple smoke bombs from the port.
If it weren't for the bad weather, we would have been caught there.
Prepare for anti-air combat. Orca drone has reached the target.
Captain, we're starting to guide artillery fire drill.
Command to the officer. What do you think will turn a drill into a real war? You don't see it, do you? It's imagination. Use your imagination like fellow submariners. A single shell will save 10 million lives. Begin drill. Ready for anti-air combat. Anti-air combat. Jamaica Bay and Tokyo Bay. I've got
Missile.
Hostile has a lock.
Yeah.
Watch two. Locked on. This one's a goner.
Missile away.
How's it going?
Enemy on me!
Missile hit.
Commit interception. Fire.
Oh.
Trigger just sank a
Oh.
battleship. Battleship is no means crippled. Navigation is disabled. That ship's heavily armored. How could that be? Thank God.
It's because,
Maintain course to
our
return to
missiles are
resupply. The helicopter designated by the recon team has exited the combat zone. Additional UAVs on radar.
Pretty shabby for a reinforcement.
Stay sharp. There's something amiss.
This one's mine.
Strata 1, target acquired.
Strider 2. Fox 2.
Ow, 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 ow. So much blink damage.
Target has been destroyed.
Warning, incoming high-speed projectile.
Projectile?
Terminal guidance! Get away from that UAV!
What do you mean?
Contact imminent.
Salvation.
Impact of the UAV's coordinates.
Shit, I'm hit!
What? What happened?
More on the way. Contact imminent.
Trigger, you hanging in there? Picture it. Salvation. The death of a fleet is a necessity.
Analysis shows the projectile was a railgun shell. We're currently determining the launch site.
They're shooting from beyond the horizon. That's why they need the UAV for terminal guidance.
We'll data link the predicted explosion radius from now on.
Damn it. You're telling me to leave my teammates behind?
Fact. I want that 100% survival rate.
Roger that. I'm pulling out.
We got the rest covered.
I'm counting on you.
Target eliminated.
Missile, evading.
Maintain course if you want to go back to resupply.
Hold on, be right back.
Strider 1, this is...
I gotta leave again. Let's go. Evo.
Strider 1, this is control.
Enemy shell detected. 10 seconds to contact.
Caution. Pull up.
Imagine.
Missile.
Never felt some cramps in the sky.
All hostile ships in the vicinity have been destroyed. Taking on this much naval power is an astonishing feat.
Enemy's got a lock.
Fox 2. Entering cloud cover.
Deliverance.
Missile. Missile.
Target is down.
Fox 2.
3 minutes remaining.
Missile.
Projectile detected. 10 seconds to contact.
Tucker 04 to Lancaster. We need you to attack the designated heli.
Enemy has a lock. Evade. There's so little wiggle room. I've got a sitting duck here.
That dude wanted a piece.
Your plane will ice up if you stay in there too long.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Missile inbound. Missile inbound. Target destroyed.
Missile.
Fox 2. Fox 2.
Target acquired.
1 million lives gone. Picture it.
Missile.
Strata 1, watch your tail.
Not bad at all, Trigger.
Missile.
Trigger, enemy has a lock on you.
Detecting shell in flight. 10 seconds to contact.
Missile.
2 minutes remaining.
Missile.
Good. We reduced enough of the enemy forces. Job well done.
Try that.
That prime rib and truffle soup sure were good. But hold on, lunchtime's not over yet. Go grab some desserts.
Missile.
I knew you'd say that.
Missile.
Projectile exploded in the distance. Must be a failsafe.
Bingo. Looks like we found a solution.
All right, all aircraft, follow Trigger's example if you can.
Hell, that's easy for you to say.
More aircraft is the entire morning.
Must be hallucinating.
Hallucination, it's a nightmare!
I've got a sitting duck here. Locked on bandit.
Strider 1, bandit splashed. Projectile detected. 10 seconds to contact. Strider 1, UAV deployed. Railgun shell lost its target. 1 minute remaining.
Later, suckers.
Missile launched. Missile did not connect.
Three strikes in the sky is not going to happen.
3 strikes. Flags the drive. Imagine you're just about to be killed. Why am I going to be killed, you ask? Because they wanted to steal from you, to torment you, to burn you, to cut you apart. It was for your your actions and your vengeance. There has to be a reason. 3 strikes has none of that. I do not. PC command, officer. You're down.
The shell exploded. It's off the grid. Enemy shell detected. 10 seconds to contact.
All over.
A recent senior military officer has fled the combat zone.
3 strikes, performing well above our expectations. Oh, you sound downright ecstatic. All right, Trigger, let's go get him.
Well done. We've managed to hit the Erusian Navy's fleet and command structure pretty hard.
That was definitely a free lunch if there ever was one.
Mission complete. Return to base. Withdraw from the operation airspace. You completed the mission, but it's not done until you return home.
Arrogant bastard.
Stand by. Warning. 2 bogies inbound.
Strider 1, this is...
Technically, we returned back, but, you know. We gotta go out there.
Strider 1, this is control.
Bearing 090. SU-47s.
Lanza! Missile! Behind you!
You come back again, huh?
Lanza!
Strider 3 is hit.
Good. Now we have less goons to deal with. Do it, Scream. That's those damn bats.
So you want round 2, huh?
We're calling off the withdrawal. Both of you, watch out for their missiles. The missile alert didn't go off in time. Hit me as soon as I heard it.
It may be that the enemy's missiles have stealth capabilities. Their missiles may hit you immediately after your missile alert goes off.
So that's the trick. Calling out to unidentified aircraft. Cease combat immediately and withdraw. What the?
Brigadier General Clemens is radioing enemy aircraft on Ocean channels.
Too late. Trigger's already started. I repeat, withdraw.
Don't want anyone thinking we screwed up. 3 strikes is going down.
They're responding. You goddamn idiots.
You call me an idiot again, I'll kill you.
You siblings can go to hell together. Brother and sister?
Chaffin flares launched.
I'll give them their fight.
Strider 1, locked on target.
Good, you're on their 6. It's 2 on 2, Trigger. We can't lose.
One.
Directly hit by a missile.
Scream! Damn it! You'll pay for this 3 strikes!
Only 1 left. We run them down together. But the death blow will be from you, Trigger.
I'll kill him! I'll kill him, all right!
Barely need 1 left. Don't let your guard down.
Let's finish this once and for all, Trigger.
Projectile detected. 10 seconds to contact.
Way to go, Trigger.
I'll kill you! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
You psycho.
I'll kill you! You'll pay for this 3 strikes!
He's definitely lost his mind.
Strider 1, missile launched. Don't let the enemy's emotions make you lose your cool.
I don't pity him. Not one bit.
How dare you!
Target hit. Target hit. Chaffin flares.
Man, give up. On hard, this was like one of the longest fights to do.
That's a hit. We got the bat.
Take that, asshole.
Scream! 3 strikes! It's just as I imagined. No matter what we do, this is how we end. But know this, 3 strikes. I'd rather go to hell than live in a world shaped by you. So yeah, we'll be heading there now.
Unidentified aircraft, eject. Eject now.
I gotta catch up to her!
Alright then.
The Bat's blip has disappeared from our radar. At that altitude, it likely has crashed.
Serves them right. Yes. The problem has been eliminated.
We got some questions for you though.
Meet us at the drop-off point. 3 Strikes has removed all Strangler Erusian forces.
Looking up real quick to see if those guys are in any other game.
I have no doubt that the plan to save 10 million lives will lead Erusia to true victory.
Stop thinking so small. It's salvation on a far grander scale.
Caution alert. Caution alert.
I can almost touch the water.
Yeah, alright, so they were just in this game. Kind of wondering if they were in another one, because it's just so weird they came out of nowhere. But that'll be it for now. We'll watch this cutscene. We'll be done. Good, that lasted about as long as we wanted it to. That's good. We wanted to go about 3 or 4 hours.
Ujian, no, stop it! Hey, chill.
Ujian, stand down. Sit.
Shit, my cola.
The fleet at Anchorhead was eliminated, and we prevented the submarine from joining forces. The unidentified aircraft were shot down too. The mission was a complete success.
Complete success, my ass.
Brigadier General, it sure seemed to me like the Bats knew you pretty damn well.
You seem to be confused. Report in for a medical check. We'll decide if you're still fit for service based on the examinations.
Cut it!
That's enough. Get the MP.
He's right. Get the MP.
Vice Chairman Edwards of the Joint Chiefs of Staff?
The Alicorn slipped into Anchorhead Bay after the mission was completed, using the confusion for cover. It resupplied quickly and escaped unharmed. Their goal was not to join forces. It was to resupply using the window we created by chasing away the Erusian forces. We did their bidding, albeit unknowingly. But the problem runs deeper than our lack of tactical acumen. Analyst North, explain for us.
Of the crew caught in the submarine accident, 330 men made it back alive. Of them, 300 are still in the sub today. Our intel has led us to believe that some or all of the 30 men who left the sub are now working as agents for the Alicorn. Sabotage, espionage, cyber propaganda, dissemination of false intel. Brigadier General, do you recognize the name Edgar Saxon, or Zool, as he used to go by? He is a former member of the Alicorn's crew, and your source of intel.
You are a fool, Brigadier General Clemens. Not only that, the radio communications during the mission suggest you are a traitor.
Sir, if you check with Lieutenant General Shepard, you'll understand that this is all just a misunderstanding.
The Lieutenant General claims you were responsible for handling all aspects of the mission. Now, let me say that again. Get the MP.
No need for that. Piece of shit.
Got him.
We've acquired important intel from the mission. For example, the shells from long-range anti-air fire came in on depressed trajectories. Look, the estimated energy output of the railgun is 500 megajoules at least. Fired at minimum energy trajectory, range is over 3,000. They hit a powerful rail cannon aside from their main guns.
It's almost like Stonehenge.
A mobile Stonehenge.
And also, this. The Alicorn was in harbor at Anchorhead for approximately 10 minutes. They couldn't have loaded SLBMs. They loaded something smaller.
Smaller?
What is smaller and yet a powerful weapon?
Tactical nukes.
Close. The answer is tactical nuclear shells.
Nuclear shells?
No way.
Hey.
Oh, come on, he gets the
question
point,
right.
Nah, I missed the shell part.
Quiet.
I mean, no, come on, he got it.
Their
Come on,
target's
give him the
ORED,
points.
the Ocean capital.
They want a nuclear war?
Here's a question. What's a situation where nuclear deterrence doesn't work?
Quiz guy, I've had enough of this.
Oh, only if terrorists have the nukes.
Correct.
Damn, Scald.
Hey, I'm good at trivia games.
But we're after an
It's
Erusian
him, the
submarine,
legend.
not terrorists.
Adolf Quisler.
No.
It's him.
He's right. HQ tells me Erusia's justification is that the Alicorn mutinied. As such, the Erusian military cannot be held responsible for the submarine's actions.
Damn.
So they intend on dropping a nuke on the Ocean capital of Olred.
Here's a question for you, analyst. Just exactly who are we fighting?
Correct term is terrorist, or irregular military, named for them. An enemy to be stopped at all costs.
Correct.
Why does this feel like a Metal Gear Solid plot almost? It's like a Metal Gear Solid plot with all the crazy. I don't know. Just some of these characters look like they would instantly fit in that game. Especially that guy. The leader of the Alicorn looks very similar to someone from Metal Gear Solid, but we cannot. It's like we can see that face. And we're like, oh, yeah, he was in the games, but he wasn't. Anyway, that'll be it for tonight. Tomorrow, next time, we'll finish up Doom, and then after that, we will finish up Ace Combat. It'll be a nice back-to-back. We'll be finishing both those. If we don't do some, that's always the caveat is we'll finish those if we don't end up playing something else with somebody, which is always a time. But until then, we hope everyone had a great time. We most certainly did. This was really just a lot of our favorite missions, but the last chapter, the last arc of this game, you could say, Act 3. It's very hard to have a name for each of the arcs, but you got technically you got the rookie arc, the prison arc. This we would say is the Strider arc, and then you got man, it's cheesy. It's just gonna sound. We want to call it the Ace arc. This would, though technically the DLC is definitely the Alicorn arc or movie. It's like an anime movie. It's something so dumb and major, but nobody talks about it in the main game. It just happened. No, don't worry about it. But yeah, this was a great time. We had a lot of fun here. So, we hope everyone enjoyed themselves. If you didn't, that's not our problem. But not really. We do hope everyone had a good time. We'll see y'all same time this Friday. But a heads up, a small thing. On Saturdays, depending on if something goes through, we've signed up for a tabletop game, but we're kind of like one of the reserve members. And that starts at on Saturday at about 8 or 9 for us. So if we did stream on Saturday, if that ends up happening, of course, I'll let everyone know, but we would have to stream a little bit earlier or later. If just not streaming at all. Which doesn't sound very fun to just not stream on even, because at this point it'd be maybe 2 or 3 days you stream, but we would probably stream earlier. We don't know how much earlier. We'd probably stream up until it though, so maybe about 4 or 5. Probably 5, because then it could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That'd give us about 4 or 5 hours. If it's earlier than 4, maybe even 3, but yeah, that's about how long we like to go anyway, so that's not a problem. So yeah. But we'll see. Again, nothing's really been confirmed on that. So we're one of the people that could join, but if we don't, yeah, it's not a big deal. We would absolutely love to let it join though, because it's a DM we genuinely like going with, even though he's never finished a campaign he's done with us. Mostly, it's so sad because everyone loves that DM, and we love that DM. He's an amazing one, but every campaign we've been in with him was kind of around the same time, and it was right as shit was kicking off in his life to make him really unable to do that. And now with everything in his life starting to calm down again, he can do it. Like, we want to be right in there as he did it, because it was back to a system, Stars Without Numbers, which currently right now is free. We don't know if that's a limited time thing or not. Heavily suggest grabbing that. It's a very good system. It's completely free. It's like got space stuff, got some primitive stuff. It's got all kinds of. It's very open to let you just really go in there and do some crazy stuff. Our first character we made in that, well, technically the only character we played with that was we made one of our characters, Athena. This like very much, she has emotions, but she physically can't express them except for brief spouts. It's like you can see her crying, but she'll just be completely blank faced as if she's 100% fine. She, if someone says something funny that she genuinely does find funny, she'll just kind of ha, very dryly, but she is enjoying it. Like it's not like she can't express. It's not like she doesn't have emotions. She just can't express them. That's the caveat of her, and it's one of the funnest. That is just so great, because we were like, oh man, we don't know what we had this like idea for their story. We actually are gonna make that a story for Athena, Medusa, and the guy who owns the restaurant, Hail Caesar, which is technically a machine it's a whole thing. He has like a whole lot of stuff with him. But so the leader's like this motorcycle, kind of a transformer. When he transforms, he actually looks like a giant. Like he looks human. He's not like a metal exoskeleton or something like a transformer. He like genuinely gets like fake skin and everything when he turns back. But when he turns into a bike, he looks like a bike. It's a very weird thing to kind of go. But we were like, oh man, we do like the idea of them, like, there's a restaurant, it's a safe space for anyone, no matter what you've done. It's a safe space. But, and like his two waitresses, Athena and Medusa, technically have a rival with each other, but it's very one-sided because Athena doesn't see it that way, and Medusa heavily sees them as a rivalry. And they do odd jobs, like, both for the police, criminals, anything. It's like, hey, if we see something that the criminals are doing while working with the police, we will tell them. Same thing with the criminals. If we see something the police are doing, we'll tell them. But we'll never tell each other what mission we just went on. It's our code of ethics. So, that's why it's a safe space. They know the restaurant's not with anyone. They're true neutrality. Even when you're in there, even if you see, like, even if the police see a guy who's a mass murdering psychopath who's done all these horrible things, as long as he's in the restaurant, you cannot touch him. Same thing with the cops. There's a cop who's about to bust your entire ring and take you all down. You cannot do anything while he's in that restaurant. And both sides come, in the story, they will always come very close to breaking that rule, but just because of how powerful those three are, nobody does. For Medusa, we're like, alright, she'll have a snake, maybe some pistol stuff. She'll be very much okay with killing. HC, he used to be a soldier. He doesn't care. He goes in with murder. But we're like, nah, we don't want Athena to kill. That's our thing with. So while looking at this system, we're like, oh, we can do unarmed. We'll do that. We genuinely don't want her to kill. That's our thing. And even if she shoots at somebody in that campaign, we're like, even if she shoots somebody, it's always to incapacitate. No, that was somebody else. That was a different person. That was our robot. That's a different system. We were like, we just want her to punch people. That's all we want. So we got unarmed, and as we were going through it, we put 2 points of unarmed to that, because when you're setting up, you can get a non-combat focus, a combat focus, and then a free pick of whatever you want, unless you're making an alien, because an alien, you can get like 3 very awesome skills. Like the character we just made is a slime, so they can like mimic things, or like slide into small vents and cracks, because they can go all goopy. They can climb walls, and like, as if it's just, they can just walk up a wall, just fuck off, or they can survive in a hostile environment. So basically, like the vacuum of space, all kinds of other shit. Like, it very much the GM helps you make that, but that's what we went with all those. Like, yeah, it sounds good. So we just have this character that just doesn't care about space, can walk on everything no matter what, and is a slime. It's very. But anyway, so we used our focus on 2 things of unarmed combat. Like, well, there's not really for stab or shoot or program or hack, you can like level those skills up to 5, but there's not really anything, if we remember right, for unarmed. So we just went, well, we'll just bump up for unarmed a lot. The first thing gives you some bonuses to punching, this, that, and it gives you shock. Shock is basically if your weapon is above a certain armor class, you can like you can basically put like fear into an enemy, and that get at like just. It doesn't like stun them or anything. We don't know exactly what it does, but like shock basically. If you have a weapon that's better than someone's AC, it puts it like can debuff them in a certain way. So pun arm with the punching, she gets a little bit higher on that. She can do a little bit more damage, and then in this, in this system, there's primitive armor, advanced armor, and then power armor. With the second level of that, the highest level unarmed, she can basically punch a power armored unit and do a shit ton of damage. She can literally bare knuckle box Iron Man. So we just had this idea of this like 100-pound white woman running up and then beating the shit out of super soldiers. And even the guy, GM, he saw that, he's like reading over those skills and he's like, yeah, that's pretty good. And he looked at him and he's like, oh, okay. Holy shit. Even he was taken aback like, oh my god, you can just beat the shit out of power armor. I'm like, oh no, it's great. Like this thing is there, we're like, wait, what? We just took both things because we wanted. Was it? We weren't looking it over too hard right then, because it was very late. We were just trying to make the character and get it out because it was gonna be a couple days when we made. We're like, well, we'll do it now and we'll look it over later. We just remember like, okay, it does a lot more damage and all that. We read it, but we were like skimming it like, oh, okay, do we really want a second level? Is there anything else? We're like, nah, okay, and on. And then he said like something about punching power, and we're like, wait, what? We both just looked at it like, oh my god. Just beat the shit out of us. We never got far enough in the campaign for that to happen. We were so ready. We were so ready for some mech to come out and our character just go, don't worry, I got it. Oh man, we 8 minutes talking about tabletop stuff. That's when you know it's a good stream. But yeah, that'll do it for now. So we hope everyone had a great time. We did. If you didn't, no refunds. Yeah, we'll see everyone sometime tomorrow. Hope y'all have a good night, evening, day, whatever you're having. We'll see all y'all later, mates.